1, 2, 1, 2. T.O.M. Teachers of Ahati. Who am I today? The scribe, been forever, but the name changes with the times. I come from a place where space is home. I go into realms where your face is gone. A change gon' come. As a teen, hypnotized deep in a sleep, party and slumber. 11 life path number, a life of death that's rebirth. Recall realities to re-emerge. Soul purge, I'll lend you frequency like loan words. Before I teach, I'll spit a poem first. Step on stage, set the stage, car walking, set ablaze, divine fire. The body is divine attire, sewn from words. Sound frequency, awakening dreams. Don't pinch me every day I wake up, it's a home birth. Start from zero to become the heroes. Cycles of time causes expansion of mind. Potential is exponential. Gain XP, what your power made of. I've had to face self, face to fate, a double fate. What will I make of the present? I'm just trying to pet heaven. Twice great, 2 arms up is none to wave. It's nothing to wave. God separate the waters from the waters. Genesis 1 and 6. See, that source is thousands of years prior to a Bible even existing. It's called the pet word for heaven. Watchers of noon, primordial, pre-ordered, bringing order in order. Its law the scales will represent. A double gift, re-present, Ray is present. Ra, amen to the God inside. The crown will glow as consciousness grows. So what assignment are you on? I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By a step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By a step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. Serpent mind winding in alignment. Straight from Orion, the origins. Dig into the root, Kemp originals, the oracle speaking. Your aura is gleaming. The sons of God, Amen Ra. Who can't afford a reason to fall below your own means, meaning reaching beyond the firmament ceiling. I see linguistics tricking us deep into sleeping. The way we live inception, I must be dreaming. Doubles, double L, square root, mirrors, reverse the image. My grip is slipping. Almost forgot the point of the mission. Statements point out all the contradictions. Blatant truth lives where my eye is foundation. Yeah, co-founded a nation. Dictionary study spells can be scary. Etymology, this here is completion. Cycle circles, dualism, wisdom. I peddle flowers. 2 eyes are watching to see through the double realm I'm healing. Never out of what's within him. Infinite reasons, just like my brother Arcad. Always remain calm against demons. Death culture, to be alive here, it's a lie here. They crossed us into thinking that death isn't living. The lies are falling through my palms, arm wide, holes in my hand. The Pope's in command, I demand the throne back. Ancient teachings, I'm a throwback. Picture that, see this moment here is cold that. So black, I see through lies. Why they hold that, ocean motions. I'm flowing through noon in the boats of consciousness. My tongue is rolling, planting seeds, sowing, knee of speaking, untangled quantum DNA, spitting frequencies. I hear Christians scream hallelujah, and this ain't that the name of God is God. I must bring the order back, the scales are tipping. In the court of Allah, moonshine, Tehuti is Yah. This here is Ptah, bulldozing, the one chosen. Focus, when the light hits you, just open like lotus. Melt your mind when in mind time is frozen. Blow minds, my mind is golden. Coat me in gold, I've got a gold coat round me like I'm T.O.M. Like his, when you spell my name, put 3 lines in. Scribe, presenting the law's findings. Who's he? I me, an echo of Tehuti. Yes, I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By a step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemez, Corona shining. We do our best to do our best. on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. I am learning to compartmentalize what I find with my mentals. I could have been labeled mental voices in my head. If I speak to the wrong one, I'll be diagnosed schizophrenic. Creating pollution you can't escape from. We're Captain Planet. Where's Captain Planet? And it's exactly how they planned it. It's insanity, stayed in a state of sanity. But I'm the scribe, keeping record on the record. I break records. This, that, medu, nature, echo, living, lively, times 3, Trinity. We are not the same, not even similar. Plant the seed, a man receive excellence, adoration, testaments, evaluation, literally. The love is real, yet they be hating. Salutations, I wait to master patience. Acting lackadaisy on your facts, I'm backed by conscious beings. I am free, can't lock the wings in. The diction is firm, call me men. A man 3 in 1, erection, protection, firm. Spitting life into who I speak to like sperm. Creation is a who I earned. The right to fully see it through. The heart as I rise through. Manu, Akut, lost it when I had to find you. I'm through, times 2, dualism, we will align soon. As I meditate in my room, it becomes a space of pure truth aligned with my eyes. Verbiage is time for more than the 2 eyes. I can see the veil underneath that other veil. Focus when I am locked in. I don't need a cell. Tell me you don't see the trap. Tower power over enemies, frozen over hell, reversing spells. Fell from the skies, the body is disguised. If you needed a sign, well this is it. I hope you read between the lines, left, right. After the first step, I write what's left in me. This is destiny, keep on moving, especially if you find blockage. No amount of pushback will stop this. This will get capped in stone, they cannot top this. Pyro, fire, Ba is my attire. Inspire the ones chosen, the ones open, the ones spoken. From times when life was once spoken. Enchantments, Nesu, double tongue in motion. Give, receive, keep moving and move for keeps. Keep it real, keep the master key. I had to master me. Mirror glass shattered in my dreams. I didn't like the image till I realized I am the image of the image. I'm here for keeps, keep your distance. Social gimmicks are stories told within the hieroglyphics. Mystics, just keep on living. We're gifted. Our stories told within the hieroglyphics. A language living, just keep on living. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep. I had to relearn what a brother is. I had to relearn what a sister is. I had to relearn what a mother is. There is no other him. Watch your mouth, fix your lips. Yeah, motivate a nation. Stepping out the spaceship, causing a spaceship. Faced with revealing the spells within this matrix from the Masons. But I'm the architect. Best respect, I can architect. Rule your rulership, I hold the heck. Control my thoughts, still move when the game is paused. We speak heck up, this is the best of Medu Nature. Bars like Wi-Fi, we're connected. Always on time. Frequency and flow through frequency. I know the power I hold in my throat. Creation, destruction, with every single thing I've spoke. Enter, nectar, Kurt, show your worth. Heal from all the hurt. Not a singer, best believe I hold a note. Read between the lines, you're not really lost in that. I hope you find exactly what you are looking for. This is more than words. Taught myself to heal myself. I come from the dirt. No time for slacking or bad habits. Sad tactics of bringing mad tragic mental processes that lack passion. Spit fire, black dragon. School of hard knocks, send you backpacking. My eyes, when this appears, it's like magic. The fact is, when it's wartime, we go savage. Shield of armor 720, prevent backstabbing all the fiends of good-hearted beings. They don't suit the role, they lack the fashion. So just keep on moving. Keep on moving.
Hotep, peace and love. We live. Can y'all hear me? What's up, brother?
Yes.
Peace.
Hotep. Peace and love, everybody. Welcome to the Teachings of Ma'at Study Guide Sunday. Today's topic is the goddess Newt and the magical boat ride. Before I introduce everybody up on the panel, we will begin as we always do with our beautiful affirmation. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Unki and Ma'at, Un-N-S, Nintet Oset and Ma'at, Menhapapet and Ma'at, Her in Hu Kui, Per Iku. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Hotep, peace and love, scribe. Menkhu Ahati. Look at that good background music. Peace and love. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to the Teachings of Ma'at Study Guide Sunday. I am the mighty Atef Remkem Ma'at. I am the chairman of the organization Teachings of Ma'at. I'm a student of the master teacher, the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, and the host of this weekly study guide, Teachings of Ma'at. I'm a true-hearted follower of truth based on ancestral artifacts and a lover of my people unconditionally, and dedicated to learning the metal netta and a defender of Ma'at. Next we have the scribe, Ptah Aten Tehuti, is a writer, poet, spoken word artist, audio producer, and engineer, healer, spiritual advisor, business consultant, and creator. He is a master student of the Natiru, a true follower and protector of Ma'at, a scribe of Tehuti and Ma'at. He studies under the master teacher, the Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. For the scribe, quality always outweighs quantity. He enjoys observing reality and incorporating these observations into his own writings and creations to assist in awakening dormant DNA and reversing of negative hypnosis. Next, we have the mighty Menkhu Ra Meri Ma'at, specializes in training and educating youth workers, counselors, and educators about arts, culture, and history. He travels the world to experience how people live, and he shares it with everyone who is interested in learning from the research he has witnessed. Menkhu has a master's degree in entertainment and media business and has been working in the music industry and with nonprofit agencies, providing program planning and promoting concerts and community events in the Madison area for over 30 years. During that time, he has facilitated the following innovative after-school programs for the Madison School Community Recreation, including Hip Hop 101, Music Production 101, and MP4 music programs for youth. And last but not least, we have the mighty Ahati Maat, the presenter for tonight. Ahati Maat was taught under the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. He has been a serious student and teacher of Kemetic culture and history for several years. He has written multiple books, including the textbook called Journey of Your Soul series, essays, and articles. Furthermore, he hosts in-person and online classes, weekly podcasts, and periodically creates documentaries. He also has experience in public speaking and academic debating, and he is responsible for the creation of this weekly study guide, Teachings of Ma'at. Peace and love. Welcome, everybody, to a beautiful class.
Peace and love. Yes, Hotep, good brother. Peace and love to all the great viewers who are watching us live. Hotep Ma'at to the ones who are watching on the playback. Peace and love to all of you. We are in for a phenomenal teaching and boat ride. As the great brother Ahati is going to be presenting some wonderful information. And of course, before we always get started with the presentations, we always show our adoration to the ones who support us. And if you want to know how to do that, of course, the Cash App and the PayPal is in the description box, and you'll see it posted in the channel as well. Be sure to like and subscribe right now. share it, post it to your social medias, and let's get this information out there. So we'll show the support that has come in prior to us going live now. So I'll show that. All right, first, I always love to show this great brother who's always first in line, very, very, very consistent. The great brother Nito Campbell. He sends $5. He says, no ifset here. Hail Ma'at. Absolutely. Two out to you, great brother Nito Campbell, for your consistency, leading with the left, leading by example, to show other brothers and sisters what it means to actually support information that you appreciate. So two out to you for consistently supporting us every single week. All right, next, we have this great brother here, Nook Poo. He's paying $4.44 for my eye. Two out to you, Emmanuel Rodriguez, for your consistent support as well. You usually send in multiple supports, always in some type of Trinity sequence number. So two out to you for that and the energy that you send behind your support. So thank you, good brother Emmanuel Rodriguez. All right. So for all of you here, we have a lot of things for you all to join us with, to follow us, and different platforms for you to listen to these wonderful teachings on. So we're starting to promote our Rumble channel, which Rumble is very similar to YouTube. It's just it's a lot less strict on what you can say, what you can talk about. So there may come a time where that may be one of our primary sources of teachings. So we don't have to worry about these YouTube rules so much. It's not over there on Rumble. So be sure to go here, create an account. It's an excellent platform too to find some great information. So if you're not familiar with this, do your research on this and create your account and go over there and see what it does for you. So rumble.com/user/teachings of Ma'at, and all of our links are in the description box below. So you can just click those links and it'll take you directly to where you want to go. So follow us on Rumble. It helps us out a lot. And as I said, in the future, there may come a time where we may be posting content exclusively there. So be sure to go there and subscribe. We also have our Spotify as well. So be sure, if you want to listen to us as you're on the move, and if you already have a Spotify account, add us to your playlist and listen to these beautiful teachings as you do whatever you do. All right, so Teachings of Ma'at is on Spotify. All right, Discord community. We have a wonderful Discord community. This is how we get out mass information to you all quickly. Right. So if there's anything that needs to happen or anything that we are doing and we want to get that out there quick, this is how we do it. Discord community. We also host our meetings there once a month, in which this month it is on the 29th. It's the last Thursday of the month at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So as you see, I have the community meetings highlighted, and that's where we'll be. So once you go into the Discord, at this time, you can click on community meetings right there. You'll see that we're live, and you can come in and you can build with us. You can ask your questions, any questions that you may have, any observations that you have and you want to bring forth. You can do so here and let your voice be heard. And we always love to see new people come in and express themselves. So it's always beautiful. So be sure to hit that link, join our Discord. Oh, and while I'm speaking about this Discord, I want to give a special A special thanks to everyone. If you all haven't, if you're not familiar with the Tehuti podcast, be sure to go to Tehuti's podcasts and subscribe there. We had a cancellation on the podcast this Friday for some reasons. And I want to give a special thanks and shout out to everyone who supported the great Saba Tehuti and being there for him as he goes through what he's going through in our stance on Ma'at. We're defenders of Ma'at. And with that comes Isfet, right? So we're warriors over here. So I want to give us a specific thanks and gratitude to everyone who joined us in the Heka'u, in the meditation and the ritual of sending our great Saba Tehuti beautiful energy to make sure that he is surrounded with healing and comforting words and energy. So tu'a and thank you to every single one of you who participated in that. And all that was posted in the Discord as well. So peace and love to every single one of you for that. All right, so we have a slew of places that you can come to follow us and support us. So teachingsofma'at.com. We have two websites, of course, teachingsofma'at.org and .com to make it as easy as possible. And our teachingsofma'at.com is where all of our social links are. So you can go there, bookmark that, and it'll have all of our links that you need to be able to find us. All right, so be sure to go there. And last, I want to bring forth the promotions that we have. We have an opportunity for all businesses to have a promotion here. We can bring forth your commercial, showcase your products, whatever it is that you do for your business. You know, the best way to grow your business is to advertise, right? So we'll give you a platform to advertise your business here at T.O.M. All you have to do is just reach out to us. Email us, leadership@teachingsofma'at.org, or you can message us on the website. There's a little box there where it pops up where you can chat with us live right there. So be sure to do that and let us know that, hey, I have a business, I'm selling this, and I'd like to promote on your channel, and we'll set something up for you. All right, and we also have an opportunity for all artists to come forth and showcase what you have to offer. You know, if you're an artist, that means you want to be heard, right? If you're doing any type of music or any type of art, digital art is a great thing that's starting to explode, and you can be very creative with it, or whatever it is that you like to do. We have a creativity section as well that you can come in, and we'll give you some time to showcase what you have to bring forth, right? Showcase if you have an album coming out, if you have you have art that you want to bring forth. If you you do pottery is very excellent. It's beautiful. We're masters of pottery. If you play an instrument, you're in a band. If you dance, you just want to showcase yourself. This is a perfect opportunity for you to do that. And the great brother Menkhu brought forth an excellent idea to extend this, and it is our talent show. So now you have an opportunity to actually win some money. Everyone loves that. I hope so, right? So we have our talent show. T.O.M is hosting our first talent show. Put your competitive spirit to the test. Here's your opportunity to test your abilities in a competitive environment and win a cash prize, right? It's always fun. It's always great. And you can walk away with $100, right? It's only $5 to enter into the talent show. That's it, $5, and you can walk away with 100, right? So whatever skills or talents that you have, and it can be anything, it really can, right? Anyone can be great at anything. And that's the beautiful thing about creativity, right? Is you make what you do your own. And we look forward to seeing you all joins and what you have to bring forth. We ran a poll last week, and there was about 6 or 7 people who said that they would be interested in joining. So all you have to do is reach out to us, teachingsofmaat.org, and say, hey, I want to join in the talent show. I'm trying to walk away with $100 on July 2nd, 2023, and we'll enter you in. All right, so that's a beautiful opportunity. All right, we also have our T.O.M merch. You can go to the website as well and purchase this. This is a great way to support Saba Tehuti and the T.O.M, representing the sigil, the beautiful logo, the Tehuti's Teachings of Ma'at logo on your chest. And we know how powerful the meta netter is. And if you're new here and if you're not sure about the hieroglyphic language, and welcome, and you're going to learn some today and learn how powerful it is. And so these logos, which is what the Greeks created as their language for what means the word, the divine word, is logos, right? Because the meta netter is the divine word, and today it's called a logo. So this is what we represent, and with this knowledge and information, you're able to walk around with a different level of consciousness and know that it's not just the image on your chest, that you're actually walking around with a story and it has an energy behind it. So you can support the T.O.M by wearing the Teachings of Ma'at shirts. All right, and last but not least, all the great brothers here do a lot to bring this forward for you all. The presenter today spends so much time putting together this information in such a way for you all to enjoy it, for it to be aesthetically pleasing. There's a lot that goes into this, so support is always appreciated. Support is always appreciated. All right, so PayPal and Cash App, Teachings of Ma'at. And all of our links, of course, are in the description box below. So be sure to send your support to Nito Campbell and Emmanuel Rodriguez for being ahead of the curve, being ahead of everything, and leading with your left and showing people what it means to really support. All right, so Tua for your consistency, and Tua to all the great brothers and sisters who will be supporting during this show. And for those of you who are watching this on the playback and who will support afterwards, because you recognize this information is something that you're not getting anywhere else. So be sure to support us. All right, now with that being said, that's all of our announcements. Support us. There's so many different ways to do that. All right, so we appreciate each and every one of you who are here with us. Shout out to Big Vapes. Peace and love to you, good brother. You always putting these emojis up. I love it. Angela Gates. I'm not seeing Rumble on T.O.M website. It's in the description box right here in your YouTube. And if you go to teachingsofmaat.com, you'll see it there as well. Malkia Wa Mungu. Shout out to you, sister, for your support as well. And of course, Carolina, Hotep Ma'at, everyone. All right. So peace and love. And if good brother Menkhu, if you want to speak before the great brother Ahati goes in, I'm passing it to you, great brother Menkhu.
Peace and love to everybody. Peace, power, and prosperity. Looking forward to this powerful energy that's going to be shared with us tonight in this sacred ceremony that we're having. The T.O.M family was up. I'm excited. Things are coming in. I'm ready. Yo, let's go. Great things are about to happen for us. Nothing can stop us. Whatever Isfat try to come at our leader, we coming for you. Don't come near our family. Don't come near none of our people in the chat. Yo, it's our time right now. So it's a pleasure to be here with you brothers on the panel. I'm feeling amped. I'm feeling charged. Yo, Ma'at got us, and I'm ready for Ahati to do his thing. The talent show, yo, let's come out and let's represent. This is an opportunity for us to build an empire, build our culture, show our love, show our talent. Fashion is also, we didn't talk about fashion, but Y'all see the fashion and what we're doing at T.O.M, but it's your opportunity to create t-shirts, headbands, wristbands, whatever you want to create. Our creativity is our superpower. So my inspiration for doing this talent show is to give you an opportunity to put your superpowers out there and to go inside and interview what is your superpower and your creativity and share it with us so we can all grow. Peace and love. Ahati, let's do it. Whenever you're ready, baby, let's go.
Okay.
Hyped up. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all see what it is. teachingsofmyart.org. Let's go.
Yeah, I want to say what's up, everybody on the panel. What's up to Tef, Menkhu, and Ani. What's up? I want a moment of silence before we begin for our great leader. And I want to say something after that before we actually begin. So let's have a moment of silence. Very short, maybe 30 seconds, not too long. And people can just send their coups and their ka energy towards Tehuti, Amenhotep Ra, our great Saba. I just got a surge of my energy that's destroying this fet right now. It's gonna be all good. So, thank you, everybody, for loving him as much as we love him, and for coming out tonight. And let me back off the screen a little. And let's do some hailing. Let's do some hailing. Get the energy up. And let me pull it up on the screen here. Angela Gates says, I got it, thanks. Okay, let's share the screen. All right, so here at Teachings of Ma'at, we have a custom that we do, which is called the Henu in the Medu Netter. It's called the Henu. It's what created the English word hail. And prior to any other culture hailing each other, it was us that hailed each other first. That's why it's so destructive to us now, because there's no brothers or sisters other than us watching now and in the future that hail each other so freely and confidently. So we respect you at Teachings of Ma for doing so. So here, this affirmation or utterance, whatever you want to call it, is on our website. It's actually on the home page next to our great Saba's utterance and next to our foundational ideals. So I'm going to read the blue line. The blue line is the Medu Netter in English, and then the red line is the translation, which is, let's begin. E neb ma'at per em ma'ati. Hail ma'at is everything. We come forth from her. Henu Saba Tehuti, Amenhotep Ra. Hail Saba Tehuti. Henu Kemet. Hail Kemet. Makaru, Makaru, Makaru. Victory, victory, victory. That is our victory voice. And like I said before, we used to hail without giggling and making it feel like it feels uncomfortable, like it's something wrong. These brothers are arrogant. We never thought like that. We worshiped each other freely because we were supremely confident within ourselves, such as me and the brothers here on the panel today. We have a great show for you tonight. first, I want to say something to the brothers on the panel and everybody watching. We can't do this without your support. Just keeping it real. Brothers got families, they got lives. We have things we have accountability and responsibilities to. To put these presentations together, it literally makes our brains throb. It's a lot of work. This isn't just, it's fun, but it's work too. And unfortunately, in the society we live in, the greatest value is put on money. So do we ask for money? Absolutely. Because money in this society is valued more than us. So if somebody's throwing us, even if it's $1, if somebody's giving us something, it's showing that they value our hard work, our teachings, and our accountability, and therefore should be rewarded. And we appreciate that. But the brothers, like ETH has a family. ETH has a loving mate. ETH has work. ETH hardly gets sleep because he's putting in this work for teachings of Ma'at. And even if it's just $1, man, or just a message, send him a message. Say, hey, ETH, you're doing great work for teachings of Ma'at. I honor you. I hail you. I just want to let you know. Boom. Just because that's giving us energy and motivation to keep doing what we're doing and to keep advancing while we're doing it. Not just stay at one level, but each show, if you notice, keeps advancing. Menkhu, the brother is the cultural and enlightenment department head. He is putting together history for T.O.M right now. He's got the town show going. He's putting together an annual event for us. Again, send the brother something, even if it's a hello. See how he's doing. See if he needs help. Show him appreciation. And then finally, Brother Ani. Again, and some of you might be already sending support, sending emails. I don't know, because I don't even answer brothers. Personally, it's not my business, but I want to encourage them, and I want them to get the same amount of love that I see. And just send them a shout out, send them some love, send them even $1. Everybody has $1 at least. Even a homeless guy has $1 for his liquor. But send them something, and this lets us know that we're doing great work, and it keeps us highly motivated. So those of you that are already doing this, we appreciate you. And those of you that are thinking, saying, you know what, yeah, I can spare something today, and are going to do it in the future, we appreciate you too. Now, for those of you that are really motivated and want to join T.O.M as official member, because just showing up in the chat isn't an official membership. I've had people assume that is. It's not. You will get a membership card just like this on the left of Menkhu, Meri Ma'at. And depending if you're active or not, these are for the active members. Those are putting in serious work for the movement. You will get your position put on your card here. So on the Chief Steward, Head of Cultural Department. You will get a member's number, you will get the date you joined, and you'll get a signature slot if you want to sign it. And then you'll get the original RBG for the red, black, and green, the red, black, and gold, which is the blood that has been shed by millions upon millions of people by the matrix, which are our ancestors. The black is consciousness, meaning our melanin, and gold for the light and value that's in all of us. And then you'll have the eyelid from Ma'at. So we are serious over here, but at the same time, we like to have fun. So let's get into the presentation. Oh, before I do that, let me give some shout outs to people that I see here. So shout out to Doreen Doe. You look like somebody new. Peace to you. Shout out to Angela Gates. She says, love and peace to the goddesses and the God. Peace to you. Shout out to Carolina. She says Hotep Maat, everyone. Shout out to Malika Wamangu. She says Hotep Maat family. And then we have Andrea Gates. We have Big Vapes. Big Vapes is in the house. Peace to you, brother. And I know there's others secretly watching. I know you're in the background hiding, but that's okay. Maybe one day you will come out of the darkness and we can see you and me. Okay. Okay, so tonight's presentation is the goddess Nut in the magical boat ride. The goddess Nut in the magical boat ride. So part one, Nut in the Wajit, connected for life. Nut in the Wajit, connected for life. We're gonna get into what's on the screen, the picture, the actual wall painting. We're gonna get not into this one too much specifically, but we're gonna get into others because it's a beautiful, beautiful journey we are on, and our ancestors were on, and still are on. And they depicted it in their paintings a lot of times. And this is a beautiful one because it represents the teachings of Ma'at and the journey that all of us here are actually going through. So part one Nut and Wajit, connected for life. Before we begin, how did the Nile Valley people get the idea for Nut? How did the Nile Valley people get the idea for Nut? This brings us to the Great Rift, or Cygnus Rift. And what is it? What is it? In astronomy, the Great Rift, sometimes called the Dark Rift, the Dark River, is a dark band caused by interstellar clouds of cosmic dust that significantly obscure the center and most radial sectors of the Milky Way galaxy from Earth's perspective. In the dark, clear night skies, the rift appears as clear as the bright bulge of stars around the galactic center does to the naked eye or binoculars. You can see this with your own eyes. The rift is largely between the solar system, which is close to the inner edge of the Orion arm, and the next arm inward, the Sagittarius arm. The clouds are an obstruction to millions of galaxies, stars detected at visible wavelengths, which compose a bright, hazy band appearing 30 degrees wide and arching through the night sky. The clouds within our radial sector of the galaxy span about 800 to 1,000 parseconds. From Earth, the clouds are estimated to contain about 1 million solar masses of plasma and dust. Tremendous amounts. To the naked eye, the Great Rift appears as a dark lane that divides the bright band of the Milky Way vertically. So when our ancestors were looking at the night sky in Kemet, they saw this part of the Milky Way that had a bend to it. And this is what it would have looked like to them over here. Now I have to admit, this isn't Kemet. This is one of the best pictures I could find. But it's not Kemet. It's actually over here in the States, in the USA, in Death Valley to be specific. But it's a beautiful picture because it's clear. It shows the rift and it shows the arm right here. It shows the outline of a head. You can see a head with long hair reaching back through the archway. that overextends down to what looks like legs. So when our ancestors were looking at this, it gave them inspiration. It gave them perspective of a female overarching Kemet, watching over Kemet, sort of like a ceiling. And therefore, if you look at the bottom of the page here, they drew inspiration here on the left. Okay. Now, this is the things you can look up pretty easily on the internet. Let's get into things that aren't so easy to look up. So many of us have heard of the goddess Nut. How many of us have heard of her as being one of the eyes of Ra? So I'm going to ask the chat now. One of the brothers, I don't know who's watching. Can you just watch the chat for me, please, so I don't have to click out?
We got you, brother.
Thank you, brother. So the question is, how many of us have heard of her as being one of the eyes of Ra? In the chat. Give us a 1 if you've heard of it. Give us a 2 if you haven't. How many of us have heard that the goddess Nut as being one of the eyes of Ra? Give me a 1 if you...
Gates says 2. Carolina says 2. Big Vape says 2.
Okay. Okay, nice. First, before we dive into the answer, let's look at what Wikipedia says the Wadjet is. I use Wikipedia often. I know people say it's not a great resource, no matter the resource. Always cross-reference the information until you arrive at the original source. A lot of people are just parroting this notion that Wikipedia isn't a great source, but if you always scroll through Wikipedia, mostly to the bottom part, you can always cross-reference to see if the sources are credible. And also, a lot of times they'll say citation needed. But I never discount Wikipedia. For those of you that are new and watching in the future, how Wikipedia spells it and often how the Wadjet is spelled is with a W. It's because the consonants and the vowels, nobody knows exactly the correct spelling, so you often see them interchangeable. So you can spell it with a W or a U. So on the left here, you see it's Wadjet, U-T-C-H-A with the T, and it's saying it's the eye of Ra, the eye of Horus. Okay? So let's see what Wikipedia says. So if we Googled Wikipedia right now, immediately it would say the Wadjet is an eye of Horus. Okay? We go on reading down to the highlighted part here. And it says the Wadjet was said to be the nurse of the infant god Horus with the help of his mother Isis. They protected Horus from his treacherous uncle Set when they took refuge in the swamps of the Nile Delta. The Wadjet also contained a sanctuary for Heru, the child of the sun deity who would be interpreted to represent the pharaoh. Much later, the Wadjet became associated with Isis as well as with many other deities. So it's pretty plain, cookie cutter information here. Not too heavy, not too deep. But we like to get real deep here in the teachings of Ma'at, so let's start diving. So here's a gem that will assist you when asked a common question about Kemet when you're on the street, when you're with family, friends, wherever you're at, because it's a common question I get. What do people ask most often when it comes to the Wadjet? What do people ask most often when it comes to the Wadjet? They ask, when wearing the Wadjet on my necklace, I'm frequently asked, is that the Eye of Horus? Is that the Eye of Horus? And it actually depends on how it looks at you. So when I'm on the street wearing my Wadjet necklace, I'm often asked, is that the Eye of Horus? Somebody will show me, I got it tattooed on my leg, I got it tattooed on my arm, I got it tattooed on my chest, I got it tattooed on my back. Okay. And they think that because this society teaches us that things are either black or white, or right or wrong, or it's one-sided. No, we didn't think like that. Everything's connected in Kemet. Everything is not just one thing. It's everything. It's everything. So it depends how you look at it. It depends on how I look at it. So it could be the Eye of Horus, and it could be other things as well, because the Wadjet has multiple meanings. Kemet was and is based on dual connectivity. It's based on duality. Scientists hate that term, because once you start figuring this out and realizing that nothing is, as they say, set in stone other than the Medu Neter, you begin unlimiting or freeing the mind. So the Wadjet is facing in different directions. Why? So sometimes we see the Wadjet like over here on the left-hand side, where I have it underlined in red. And they'll say, that's the Eye of Ra. And then over here on my actual Wadjet, they'll say, that's the Eye of Horus. And they're both the same. They're both the same. The one on my Wadjet on the right could be the Eye of Ra too, and many other things. In fact, many of the eyes I've seen are facing this way. So what is the difference, Ahati? There is no difference, only change of one's perspective. One of the many features of the eye, the Wadjet, is perspective versus perception. Let's look at some Medu Neter for clarity and Egyptian language meanings. But before that, I want to look at the chat here for a second. Before that, I want to ask people in the chat, I want to see if you understood what I just said, because I don't want to move on. I'm going to cover some really deep stuff tonight, and I want to make sure it's making sense to you and that you're grasping what I'm saying. So when it comes to our culture, that's another thing. The culture still exists. We're right here. So I don't ever say was, our ancestors, Tehuti was this, Aten was this, our ancestors did this. No, we're right here. So our culture was all about connectivity, meaning that we didn't just look at one thing and declare it one label, because we understand that the universe is composed of multiple, infinite labels. It takes everything and everyone in the universe to create, not just one thing. And that's where the deception of the religions and the monotheistic and all the way down into our own personal relationships with a monogamous relationships. Hey, if that's your thing, that's cool. But I'm just saying, just think about it. It takes multiple things to create anything. And our ancestors knew this. That's why the Wadjet could look in different ways. So I just want to make sure everybody in the chat understands that. Clear? If you do, let me get a 1 and I will move on. And if anybody doesn't, we will figure it out together. Hey,
Roberto.
Peace, Robert Reyes. What's up, brother? Okay.
Peace. Angela Gates says 1. Big Vape says 1.
Wait. Nice. Okay, we'll move on. Very good. Share the screen here. All right. Primordial Thought, peace, brother. He's in the house. Share system audio. Share. Okay. So. So the Wadjet has many different meanings in multiple different ways we can look at it. It's not just coming from one, oh, this is just the eye of Horus, or this is just the eye. No. We're going to get into that. There's no difference, only change of one's perspective. One of the many features of the eye, the Wadjet, is perspective versus perception. Let's look at some Meru Netter for clarity. But first, you know I got to get to the point, excuse me. But first, you know I got to point out the difference between perspective and perception using the etymology dictionary. This brother's complaining, it takes too much time. I know, but it takes just as much time to be fooled. So the time it takes to look something up just to clarify it, make sure that we're right in what we're thinking, and then eventually saying, it takes just as much time to do that than to just brush it off. So, etymology perspectives. It's from the 14th century. Excuse me, this is from the online etymology dictionary. I know there's people that are new watching, and we reference this very much because this is a spell breaker. Perspective, late 14th century, the science of optics. So it's the science of optics. It's from the Proto-Indo-European root, or the made-up European language to inject them into ancient history. The Proto-Indo-European root per means to move forward, means forward, hence to look at. And then it comes from spec, which means to observe. So the average person per day takes in 74 gigabytes of data. The average person, which, by the way, is way more than our parents, their parents, or any other generation in history has ever taken in. We take in the most data today because of social media and other things, for convenience. So the average person per day takes in 74 gigabytes of data. More than 50% of the cortex brain is devoted to vision. For clarity about the magnificent unconscious feat our vision holds together within our brain, let's reference a couple short videos and articles. So we're going to go there now. And this is from The Conversation. And sources are available always if anybody wants them. Sources are always available. Everything we see is a mashup of the brain's last 15 seconds of visual information. Published January 26, 2022. And I'm not actually going to read the article. I'm just going to show the videos. It's a good article. And if you want to read it after watching the videos, I'll be happy to send it to you. So the first video, it's going to show us the visual instability of the brain and how our brain takes that instability without us consciously knowing it and makes it into the picture that you see right in front of you right now. So this is called visual instability. and there's no sound. So I'm just gonna play it for, maybe I'll just let it run. But the picture on your left is the brain picking up the image and then creating the picture on the right hand side. But it's doing this without us consciously knowing. It's doing it very, very quickly, and it's creating an image on the right hand side. And it's doing it through the photoreceptors in your eyes, through the cones and rods. And all this is happening simultaneously as it's taking in information from our external environment. Okay? So if we remove that stability from our vision, it would look like this on the left instead of what we see here on the right. So for those of you that didn't know, of course, vision is important. Again, we continue with another video with the illusion of stability. I believe there's no music to this either. Okay, so let me explain what's going on here first. Hold on. Okay. So what's going to happen here is you're going to look on this side. If you look at my green mouse, you're going to look on the left-hand side here, and it's going to show you a child. Okay, I'll just go through it step by step. It's easier. So it says an illusion of visual stability through serial dependence. So look at the image on the screen here in the middle. Focus on that. Okay, so these are two identical twins. They are the same age. So the two twins here on the screen are the same age. So now it's asking, how old is the person on the left-hand side? Just keep looking at that person. How old is it? How old is the person on the left-hand side? Keep looking. Keep focusing on the person on the left-hand side of the screen. How old is this person? Is she older now? How much older? Here is where she started on the right-hand side of the screen. Okay. It says, did you notice the face on the left aged by 10 years? How many people in the chat noticed that the person on the left aged by 10 years? This person here, while you were focusing on it. It says, let us watch that again, this time with an age counter. Most people perceive the face as aging less than what it actually is. Our perception is continuously biased towards the past to help stabilize the chaotic visual world we live in, which means that we're basing our vision, not entirely, but a lot of it is being based off of visual or what's called cellular memory. So memories, of course, are very important. Okay. It says what the brain is essentially doing is procrastinating. It's too much work to constantly deal with every single snapshot it receives, so the brain sticks to the past because the past is a good predictor of the present. Basically, we recycle information from the past because it's more efficient, faster, and less work. So if you ever hear people say, I'm looking towards the future, no, they're not. Because it would be too much work to look towards the future. It's easier to look towards our path. Okay. All right. The next article I'm going to get into is from Business Insider. And it says the colors you can see depend on the language you speak. It says the colors you can see depend on the language you speak. And this is a very important article because hold on a second. Okay. This is an important article because a lot of our perception is based on the language that we speak. So let's get into it. This is from April 24th, 2018. It's from Ina Casapoznoza and Panos Athanasopoulos. Okay. It says the way we see colors isn't the same from person to person, even though we tend to think color palettes are predetermined. So we all think, some might think, we all don't think this, I take that back. Some might think that just because we're looking at a picture, we all see the same color red. That's not true. Color perception is largely determined by the language you speak because of the many nuances of identifying objects across cultures. Very important. Most of the world's languages have 5 basic color terms. Others divide all colors by light and dark, while others categorize the color blue into lighter and darker shades. So the human eye can physically perceive millions of colors, but we don't all recognize these in the same way. Besides our individual biological makeup, color perception is less about seeing what is actually out there and more about how our brain interprets to create something meaningful. Okay? The perception of color mainly occurs inside our heads, and so is subjective and prone to personal experience. Take, for instance, people with synesthesia who are able to experience the perception of color with letters and numbers. So people see color in letters and numbers, whereas myself cannot do that. Synesthesia is often described as joining of senses where a person can see sounds or hear colors. But they hear also differ from case to case. So they can see sound. Another example is the classic Alderson's checker shadow illusion. Here, although 2 marked squares are exactly the same color, our brains don't perceive them in this way. That's a great illusion. I suggest you go check that out when you have time. We'll be looking at some, like I've seen one where the checkered square is it's white, and depending how they alter it so that when you're looking at it, it turns a shade of gray, but it's really still white. So the brain is actually tricking us. Painters and fashion experts, for example, use color terminology to refer to and discriminate hues and shades that, to all intents and purposes, may all be described with one term by a non-expert. So I may look at, I might go to Lowe's and want to pick out, let's say, red paint and just see it as red, where a painter can look at it and say, well, that's, that's whatever different shades of red there are. He could say that's maroon or whatever, that's a dark hue of red or a certain different terminology. Okay. Different languages and culture groups also carve up the color spectrum differently. Some languages, like Dani, spoken in Papua New Guinea, and Bassa, spoken in Liberia and Sierra Leone, only have 2 terms, dark and light. Dark roughly translates as cool in those languages, and light as warm. So like black, blue, and green are glossed as cool colors, while lighter, like white, red, orange, and yellow are glossed as warm colors. So over in Africa, they don't even label it. They don't even label it as a color: black, blue, green. They reference it as one is darker than the other, or one a cool color. The Walpari people living in Australia's Northern Territory don't even have a term for the word color. For these and other such cultural groups, what we would call color is described by a rich vocabulary referring to texture, physical sensation, and functional purpose. And I love that last one because they're only interested on how it's going to benefit them. What is this thing going to do? How does it function? You know, they're not making a determination or decision off of just color alone. Okay? So they don't even use colors. So it makes you think about the ancestors' use of colors too. So the 5 key colors, remarkably, most of the world's languages have 5 basic color terms. Okay? And they just go on to mention those. Language and color. The way we perceive can also change during our lifetime. Greek speakers who have 2 fundamental color terms to describe light and dark blue, galazio and bleu, are more prone to see these two as more similar after living for long periods of time in the UK, where these two are described in English by the same fundamental color term, blue. So after living in a different country, it goes from 2 color labels to just 1. This is because after long-term everyday exposure to an English-speaking environment, the brain of native Greek speakers starts interpreting the galazio and the bleu as part of the same color category. But this isn't just something that happens with color. In fact, different languages can influence other perceptions in all areas of life. And the lab in Lancaster University says, ultimately this happens because learning a new language is like giving our brain the ability to interpret the world differently, including the way we see and process. I'm going to say that again. Learning a new language is like giving our brain the ability to interpret the world differently, including the way we see and process. And I'll add on the information that we're taking in through our eyes. And this is very, very important because this is what the Medu does once you start learning it and start living it and incorporating it within your mindset, within your way of life, essentially. This is why the brothers and I stress so much to join Medu Mondays, taught by Great Saba Tehuti, Amenhotep Ra. Because over time, as scientists in the lab, not in Ahati's house, in a lab in Lancaster University, there's many other labs that are doing this, it's not just the one in Lancaster, attest to what I'm saying to you today. And a lot of us know this too. If we hang around certain cultures, if we have friends in different cultures, I'll just say from my experience. So when I was on the East Coast, I used to hang around Puerto Ricans a lot. Eventually, just to fit in and belong, because this is a biological survival mechanism within all of us, is to belong to a tribe. Just to belong with the group, you are going to eventually, whether you're conscious of it or not, start mimicking the culture of that group. The language of that group, what they're saying is influencing us. That's why when I walk down the street now and I hear nigga, 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 excuse me, no strikes, no, none of that. Don't ban Tom yet. But when you walk down the street, you hear nigga, 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 motherfucker, nigga, you start hearing all that monkey type language. It's influencing people around us. in great masses, matter of fact. And then you start seeing they start dressing in a certain way. They start walking in a certain way. And then just on a personal issue I have is that if I ask the brother with his Crocs on and his pants hanging down to his ankles, said, okay, the battle's on now, let's go to war, brother, he's going to trip and fall. He's not going to be able to hear me communicate to him because he's talking like, motherfucking nigga, motherfucker, he's talking like that. Because it's a vibration we're on. And this is the beautiful thing about languages. It doesn't matter who the biological entity that's retaining information. It doesn't matter who you are. If you can retain information, it will change you. So that same individual that talks like that wears the Crocs or flip-flops or wears the pants below their waist or ankles, they have an ability to change just by being around a different culture, by learning their language. And then automatically, subconsciously, I don't like using that term, but I'm using it here because everybody knows the term, they will adapt. They have to. That's part of this biological environment and energy that we're living in. So I find that very interesting, and I wanted to share that with everybody before we move on. Oh, wait a second. So Carolina says, Spanish is my first language. Learned English quickly as a child. Yes. Yes. Children are sponges, and children aren't inhibited by their ego. In the Medu Netter, the ego is a great thing. It's called the Nook. The ego by itself is not a hindrance. It's us that gets in the way. And yes, because that is at a very minimal distracting level, and you can soak up the information. But the great thing about the Medu Netter is the Medu Netter is not coming to us just exclusively through letters or numbers. It's actually coming through us through images. So just like a child, the Medu Netter language is I'm not going to say it's easy, but if you're consistent and dedicated at learning, you can learn the Medu Netter faster than you can learn English if you came over here from a different language and you got to take ESL classes on Monday nights or whatever. It's a lot easier to learn the Medu Netter. That was good, Carolina. So going back to the slides. We come to part two. So the first one is based on perspective. Our perspective is based more on the science parts of this presentation. But there are many people that live off of just what they see. This is very dangerous. I'm one of these people that used to do that, so I can speak on it now. I've actually lived on both sides, as they say, the fence was tracks, so I can speak on both sides now. And I'm one of these people that used to just live exclusively on perspective, on how I saw other people and how other people saw me. That's why one of my insecurities was when I'd walk down the street, I'd be sizing up every brother that I saw on the street, sizing up almost everyone. And I talk to other brothers too, and they do that. Whereas now I don't do any of that because the perspective is still there, but it's not being controlled. It's not in control. Now it's what we're going to get into now, which is your perspective. And if I could leave anybody with anything today, it would be to harness your perspective. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it tonight. So the etymology of perspective goes back to the root perceive. It's from the 1300s. It means become aware.
You're not sharing your screen, good brother.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to get into perception now. We're going to get into the etymology. Perception means to become aware, to gain knowledge. Because the more knowledge that you gain in anything, it doesn't even have to be in Kemet, Meta, anything you do, you're going to become more aware to what works and what doesn't, what's real and what's fake, who's telling the truth and who's lying. Perceive also means to recognize. It's from the Proto-Indo-European cap, it means to grasp. So by being aware, gained from knowledge, knowing about something, then we are able to recognize it in the future and possibly utilize it for our benefit. Therefore, grasping the situation or experience we are in becomes easily controllable from our perception. Let me say that again. So, whatever we're experiencing, it becomes easier to control from our perception because we recognize from our memories in the past what works for us and what doesn't. And that could be anything. That could be anything. Things work for me that doesn't work for the brothers on the panel. Brothers on the panel have things that work for them that doesn't work for me. That's fine. That's great. That's for everybody. Only you know and can recognize things that work for you from the past because everything's being brought forth from the past into the present and then ultimately into the future. We grasp that information, and in any situation or experience, it becomes easier to control our perception, therefore control ourselves. And notice I did not say people, places, or things. This includes our children. They're their own perceptional beings. Yes, one of my sisters, I can never forget, man. She used to scream like crazy. And my nephew to come here, and I used to get down on my knees, look him straight in his eyes on his level when he was a little kid, and talk to him very calmly and say, "Come here, Tiberius, come here, T, come here." And who do you think he came to faster and more frequently? He came to me than her, because he didn't like that feeling from all the screaming from his past memories, even though he was only 3 years old at that time. So therefore, grasping the situation or experience we are in becomes easily controllable from our perception. Notice I did not say people, places, or things are. Can't control other people or places or things. Just your perception of it. So how is the Kau? I love that word. I love the meta because when you add the U, it just makes that ooh. It makes that ooh sound. That Kau. That Kau sound. So how is the Kau connected to all this with Nut? Let's find out. Perception in the meta is called Kau. Those of you who are in Saba Tehuti's Medu class on Mondays know what this means. But let me break it down for the future newcomers. Very important here. Very important. Very important information. Set your screen recorders, write it down in your notepads. There's free screen recorders you can use right now. Free cam is one of them. If you just Google that, very important information coming. The Kau is just a plural of your Ka, your energy right now. Everything that's being created right now, right this moment, right at this moment, right this second is being created by your energy. Nobody else. Not mine, not the mate, not the children, not the boss, not the car company, not the phone company, not the annoying wife, none of that. It's all controlled by you. The Kau is the Medu Budge calls it the 14, which is a whole nother thing. I don't have time to go over that right now, but the Kau, it's called the Kau of Ra. The Kau of Ra. Why do I have this on the screen here, this red highlight over, it looks like a flying snake over a standard. The pole that's underneath it is called the standard. It's actually the inspiration. It's actually what inspired the Tamahus to create what they call flagpoles or banners. So every nation you see now that has flagpoles and banners, they got it from this image here below the flying snake glyph. It's not really a flying snake, I'm just saying that. Below that right here, what I'm circling is called the standard. It's a very important symbol in our culture. But what is this symbol above it? What is this symbol? Does anybody in the chat, or even anybody on the panel, know what this symbol is?
I don't know
Yes.
what the symbol is. Okay, go ahead, Ani.
We're gonna give the chat a chance. See if if anyone in the chat knows. The scribe gotta know. He's the scribe.
Anyone?
Not yet. They ain't. Carolina says, LOL.
Okay, Ani, what is it?
Ani.
That glyph is the backside of a lion.
Okay, that's what Budge says, but what is it? What does it symbolize?
Angela Gates says, I don't know.
That's honest. That's honest.
We went over in the meta-netter class the rear end and the significance of the rear end, and how it's the end of a cycle, because the intestines, you go in through the mouth and it comes out through the end of the intestine, so therefore it being the rear end completing a cycle.
Okay. Okay, good. Yes, it is the hind parts or the thigh or the rear end of a powerful animal, of a lion, as Budge puts it, yes. Great answer, Ani, great answer. So often when I talk about Heka, and Heka is two words, I also mention that how we view life is not linear. It's circle of nature. Everything is living and dying. Everything is either growing or it's not. It's in regression. Things are always what we call completing, and things are always birthing. And this is a cycle. This is the energy, the eternal energy, known as Heka. Budge puts words of power, because it is what you tell yourself is all that matters. And if you're not telling yourself powerful, encouraging, beneficial, great, just like Ani said, I'm the scribe, I gotta know. If he's not doing that and he says, I'm the scribe, and we learned this in the, if he taught, I'm telling you, even if you're not there yet, just try doing that. This is how we come back collectively as a great people. By first tricking the brain and then reinstilling that ancient confidence we had to rule ourselves again. And it starts with Heka. It starts with our perception. As in number 13 here, it starts with Heka and perception. Okay? Now, I'm going to ask the chat and everybody on the panel another question. Does anyone know exactly what this hieroglyph is? The one circled in red. Brother's on his computer and the screen. Looks like he's stressing. He's trying to figure it out. Does anybody know? This looks like some tassels. It looks like some Hebrew Israelite tassels. I'm not throwing shade at you, brothers. It just does. It looks like fringes. It looks like Nia's symbol in a box. Maybe it's a hex. Maybe it's a house. Something. Does anybody know what this glyph is? Silence. All I'm hearing is silence. Silence, silence. Let me see. Jason Kirkland is in the building. Peace. What does he say? He says, looks like steps of an Aku. Nice. Peace to you, brother. This brother here, brother is has great Ka'u energy. Says it looks like steps on the coup.
Carolina says, I remember the last one now, but I don't know this one.
Yes. Okay. No, that's okay. I'm not expecting anybody to know. Unless you're in the Medu Netter class, maybe you were taught that. I don't know. Okay, so let's jumped ahead of me. Hold on. So it says, how did the ancient Egyptians ancestors connect the Medu Netter to their feelings? And see, us as men, we're not supposed to be talking about feelings. That's BS. Or you hear people say that, oh, you're acting like a woman. No, everybody has feelings. Everybody has emotions. And you should be listening to how you feel and what your emotions are, because that's where dangerous situations arise. But how did our ancestors connect to their feelings and emotions? Let's find out. A lot of info in this one tonight. A lot of info. It's shorter than my other ones, but a lot of info. The sirens, the shepherd's pie. Oh, shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pipe. The sirens, the shepherd's pipe, pan flute. Why is this relevant? The syrinx is a tubular instrument from the 14th century, which is also called the shepherd's pipe. Why? Because it's related to that demon, or daemon, that's where the word demon comes from, daemon, Peter Pan. However, for time constraints, I'm only going to focus on his ancestry, the Greek origin of the musical apparatus, which is the pan flute. Ovid was a Roman poet, and he created the story of Pan and the Syrinx in Book 1 of the Metamorphosis, where it is told by Mercury to Argus in the course of lulling him asleep in order to kill him. Syrinx was a beautiful wood nymph who had many times attracted the attention of satirists and fled their advances in turn. She worshipped Artemis, the goddess of wilderness, and had, like her, vowed to remain a virgin for all time. Pursued by the amorous god Pan, she ran to a river's edge and asked for assistance from the river nymphs. In answer, she was transformed into hollow water reeds that made a haunting sound when the gods' frustrated breath blew across them. Pan cut the reeds to fashion the first set of pan pipes, which were thenceforth known as the sirens, straight stolen out of Kemet. This story wasn't. This is just a concocted story they made up, but we'll get to that. Stealing from the ancestors as usual. And here is Pan. I censored it. We should be good. If you have children, it is censored, but yeah, this is very disturbing. And I'll tell you why I'm showing this in a second. Pan having sex with a goat statue from Villa of Pyri, Herculaneum. Yeah, this is how the Europeans get down. Not all of them. Not all of them, but this is in their culture. I can't find any of this in the culture of Ma'at, the flowers of Ma'at in Kemet. I cannot find this anywhere. On a tomb painting, on a glyph in a wall, nothing. And I'm showing this because a lot of times, especially during wars, there's videos out. I believe they're still on YouTube. They haven't been censored, where the helicopter pilots are shooting Iraqis, shooting them, right? It looks like a video game. That's how war is now. And they're like, oh, I think I just shot a effing goat effer. I think I just, because they tribute brothers in what they're calling the Middle East. There is no Middle East, but they're calling brothers in the Middle East goat effers. The goat effers. But the original goat effer is right in front of you. That is the original goat effer. So this is where they took our beautiful instrument and totally perverted it, totally bestiality it, totally just disgusted it. That's how much they think about us. So we established that this glyph is a musical instrument similar to this, called a sirens, a pan flute today. However, let's dive deeper into the dark light consciousness of the Natiru, specifically Nut and Sa, which, by the way, this instrument means to know. We're going to get to that. What does knowing have to do with music? Vibrations. So the word music equals harmonic order. The word muse created the English word music, and it's from 9 Greek stories created around musical vibrations. 9 Greek stories. The word muse is created by the word men, which means to think. And the word men was created by the word think, which means to feel. So by thinking, we're feeling. It is the emotion that is created within us from the thoughts that produces the action, that produce things that we can physically, tangibly touch in this external world. It all starts with a feeling. Thoughts generate a vibration within us called an emotion based off of cellular memory. So our memories are creating emotions within us, whether good or bad. That's why I tell people a lot of times that, and I was taught this. I didn't know this. I was taught this. That if there's something I don't like, anything, could be anything, somebody I don't like, just think of something in your mind that makes you really happy, that just gave you a great feeling, and you'll begin to feel that feeling again. And what's happening out here externally really won't affect you. Will it still be there? Yes, it will still be there. whatever that is, but the feeling won't be there, and there we can operate more rationally and logically and cohesively, so on and so forth. So the thoughts generate a vibration within us called an emotion based off cellular memory. Another thing I want to mention is that your thoughts are not you. The thoughts have been there for whatever time they've been there prior to us, and other people have actually used the same thoughts that are in our minds right now. The thoughts are actually universal. So therefore, we're not even the thoughts that we're telling ourselves. So the Kau is soul music, is the soul. So soul music comes from the etymology of the word sea. That word music comes from water, comes from sea, comes from waves. The newt is the feminine aspect of new. The newt is the feminine aspect of new, sound, vibration, wave pattern. New remembers the nectar of water, wave patterns, vibrations. Sound, vibration, wave pattern, matter is the result of birth. So all these things are happening prior to anything we see outside of our mind's eye. Male is a result of the female in her natural state. I emphasize natural state. Natural state. When she's in harmony with nature, the Natiru. A lot of females that I see now, I'm not saying people here in the chat or watching in the future, but the ones that I've interacted with, so it's not all females, aren't really too keen on nature. I mean, they like the I guess the quote unquote nice parts of it, but the bugs, the snakes, the spiders, these are all parts of nature that we can learn from. That can also be controlled by sound and our vibration, if you know what you're doing. So real quickly, thoughts generate a vibration within us called an emotion based off of cellular memory that is backed by science, cellular memory. The Kau, soul music, equals sea or water. Newt is feminine aspect of new, sound, vibration, wave pattern. Matter is the result of birth. Last step. Male is a result of the female in her natural state when she is in harmony with nature, because in order for a female to get pregnant, she has to be what? Fertile. She has to be one with what created her. The Natiru. Part 2, Newt and Saw's journey. You still haven't answered Newt's connection to the eye. Okay, here we go. Uwaji, a form of the sky goddess Nut. And this is what I was talking about in the beginning of this presentation, that our ancestors were truly not limitless. And everybody, I'm going to put it out there, everybody on the planet walking around right now is not limited, but limitless, because depending, not every situation, but depending who you are and how much emotion is going through you, you can kill yourself, you can off yourself, you can take yourself out of this realm, and the universe will not stop you. Now, I'm not saying anybody do that. I'm not suggesting that here. Let me put that out there really firm. I'm not suggesting anybody do that. However, you can do that. You can even, what created you, because you did not create you entirely, what created you, what took part in creating you, will not stop you from throwing that away. That is called limitless. There's also a great movie that tries to use synthetic ways to reproduce that. It's actually a good movie. It's called Limitless. But he's doing it in a synthetic way using drugs. And that's really what's happening too in the West also, with all the drugs they give people to take to do whatever. So in Kemet, you could take any form you wanted, and that's why everything connected. And that's why one of the forms of the Wadjet, or the great eye in the sky, have you ever heard that term before? The great eye in the sky was Nut. As you can see, one of the forms of Nut is the eye, called the Wadjet, but could we go deeper? Is there a connection between the Wadjet and music? Possibly. Let's check it out. The watch new. Now, remember the vowels are interchangeable. So this is the I, the E sound. So it could be a U also. So you could say the watch nai or the watch u. But the watch, because it comes from the ua, tish, the watch, was what? It was a flute, a reed pipe. This is where the Tamahu is getting the sirens from. So our ancestors knew that through our perception and our vibration, we were able to not only produce music, but we were able to listen to the different chords and different notes and the different vibrations and see what we like, what we don't like. And we all do it today. We all have music we like and we all have music we don't like. Stuff that resonates with us and stuff that doesn't, especially us that are in that field or profession. Deeper we go. The Nut, or Nuti, was a singing goddess. There's the symbol for Nut, and there's the feminine energy, the bread loaf symbol. Here, most of us have seen this popular picture on Google. It's the goddesses playing what? Playing the sa, playing the reed flute. Let's continue even deeper. Have you heard of the movie Inception? Do you remember this scene in the film where music was used to wake them up from one level in the subconscious mind? This is one of my favorite movies. It never gets old to me. So you see here on the left, got his name, but he's the guy. He was actually the architect in the movie, and he was the guy that was putting the headphones on the people. He didn't do it in this instance because obviously he was in the realm. It was the guy that was driving the van. Okay, so there's going to be some spoiler alerts here. If you haven't seen Inception, you may want to stop this, go watch Inception, and then come back and watch this at a later time because I will be spoiling the movie. So again, spoiler alert. So here you can't really see it, but there's a wire connected to headphones. And then you also see water in the scene here. And what's going on here is this is called a kick. That's what they called it in the movie. That something in our dream has to, something that disturbs us, or just it could be a sensation of falling, or somebody sticking a knife in you, just something that causes an emotion in you that can wake you up out of a deep subconscious state or sleep. And what they used was music and water. So in the movie Inception, the music caught energy. Because everything's energy, even the music. Water, vibrational wave patterns were used to awaken the dreamers. So here in this scene, they're doing the actual kick, where it's showing it better. And it shows the actor sitting on a chair. Originally he was upright, sleeping in a dream state. And this was, actually I think this was the architect, excuse me. In the movie. It wasn't the other guy in the van, it was this guy here. He actually got rid of this guy. But he pushed the actor over, who eventually is going to land in here and wake up because they're in a dream within a dream. And we're going to get into that very briefly here. Because whether you know it or not, we're in the dream realm right now. This is the thing. I mean, the Tamahu is so crafty. Gotta hand it to him. The Tamahu actually convinced most of the world that there's two different realities going on. No, it's all the same reality because your brain is surrounded in darkness right now. And your brain isn't even creating the reality, it's just a receiver. Think of a radio receiver. That's why I said a little while back that your thoughts aren't even you. So even though you're giving yourself positive thoughts, those positive thoughts are not even you. So we're in the dream realm right now. We're literally in the dream realm right now. And this is very deep right now. And once you understand this, your life will start taking dramatic twists and turns. Some for, depending how your perspective is, some for the good, some for the worse. Because the truth only exists. So, however, an interesting theme runs along the film, dealing with our perceptions on life. So even though the man on the left had lots of money, fancy clothes, and adventurous lifestyle that could distract most from their internal secrets, he could not let go of his past relationships, even if they put others he knew, including himself, in jeopardy. So the actor right here, his main objective was to get home to his children. He wanted to go see his little boy and his little girl, and his own perspective and his own limitations were stopping him. They were stopping him. So one of the things that he was doing was he was going into the dream realm to change all that. Which brings up the next character of the movie, which is the character Robert and his dying father have a heart-to-heart conversation while in the dream realm, where he learns a deep truth about the relationship, one that contradicted his perception of his dad and what we call reality or the physical realm. The only reality that exists is the one in your mind. That's it. So, Robert, all his life, until he met the guy on the left that I showed previously, he met him in a dream, actually. They were in a deep, deep, deep dreaming state. And Robert always believed that the man over here didn't love him, hated him. That was his perspective most of his life. Within the dream, and this is where it gets really deep, and this is where they're getting this from the ancestors, because the ancestors did inception on themselves and with each other. Excuse me for a second, I'm going to take a drink of water. Man, they have us all fooled. When I say they, I mean those people. We all know who they are. They're using exactly what we knew. And what we knew was, we knew every night we have the greatest free tool that you don't have to pay for ever, to go in to and visualize perception as an Wajid, because you will be protected by it. Because isn't that what we do? We look before we cross the street. We look at food to see if it's rotten or not. And we go into the dream state, and there's issues we have here in the physical state that we can actually alter. I'm going to get into that a little bit deeper later, but you can alter your reality tonight if you choose just by simply what the Talmud calls lucid dreaming. But it's not lucidity at all. It's just you waking up in the real, quote-unquote, reality. Because the realm is subatomic that we're in right now. The subatomic realm built the realm that we're in right now. So as long as we tap into that realm constantly, your problems should be at bare minimum based on your perception. So back to Robert here. They're in a dream. And in the dream, there's subconscious fears, or as I call them, the dark secrets. We all have them. All of us have them. Things that we buried since birth. We can't even see. Maybe dad beating mom. Maybe mom screaming at us over and over. We have things buried in us that we can't see anymore because to protect us, the mind and the brain work in cohesion, because it's all about survival here, to make sure those do not pop up to hinder what's going on in our lives right now. And we should thank ourselves every night for that. I know I do. However, when you start learning the Medu Netter and going in with the Wadjet and those old fears, you want to investigate those again. You want to look at them. So you start asking questions. And eventually the material help and they start opening up and expanding, which is another word for Nut, expansion. And she will do what the movie shows here. So they went deep in here. The Inception people went deep within his dream state and altered his life. Over here is a safe. It's representing the dark secrets that are locked in our subconscious that we can't see anymore, but they're still there, just like a computer's hard drive. When he opens it, he finds this here. This is a childhood toy that he had made for his father. That he thought because his father, in his mind, he's seeing this. Not his father's mind. This is his perception. He's seeing this. In his mind, he's seeing that his father took this and just didn't acknowledge it. So there's different levels to the dream state too, in all of us. So in the deepest one, that's where all the dark secrets come out. He realizes that he was perceiving his father the wrong way. Why? Based on language. When his father was dying here, he turned to him in what we call the real life, in the physical state, because this is all happening simultaneously. He said to him, he said he's disappointed in him. All Robert heard was disappointment. Let me see if I'm losing people in the chat. Let me see if, hold on a second. Okay. Oh, peace, Stephen E. Stephen E is in the building. That's why children are called kids now. Yes, the Pied Piper. The softening of child trafficking. Okay. Back to the screen here. So it's very important we listen to others too, and listen clearly. And that, for some of us, I know for me, you have to be taught that too. Like, the more that you retain, the more you should be listening to others. But anyway, so Robert's looking at him now in the dream state. He finds this in the safe. And he starts crying because he's like, wait a second. I heard this man said he's disappointed in me. Because his father owned a big corporation. And he didn't think that he would leave it to Robert. And Robert doesn't even want to. I won't even tell you that part, but he finds this in the safe and he realizes at that moment, because now he can hear what his father said to him clearly, and the father said he was disappointed that Robert wanted to be like him. That he wasn't disappointed in Robert, he was disappointed that Robert wanted to be like him. So Robert spent most of his life beating himself up, trying to be something he wasn't instead of just being himself. Very good movie. So how does this all connect to Nut and Saw's journey? Remembering the etymology of perception, it means to recognize something or someone. The etymology of recognize means to know, to recall, to mind, to remember something or someone. Look closely at the picture on the right-hand side. Who's in front and who's in the back steering the boat? So who's in front on the boat and who's in back steering? Let's destroy the projected God theory right now. You are God. Let me say that again because people get spooked, scared of this. You are God once knowledge is obtained from its origin. Once you know the origin of this word God, and then you begin living that origin or that original way of life, you are, that's what you become. That's what you think. Okay? The two Awajit on the front of the boat are the left eye of the sky god, the moon. The moon. The two Awajit on the front of the boat are representing the moon. The light and the darkness. We see Tehuti. We see Tehuti. Iya. This word Iya created the word Yah that now has millions, it might even be billions by now, millions of our brothers and sisters worshiping somebody other than our origin, Yahweh. So Iya created Yah into Yahweh. Iya Tehuti, Thoth the moon god. Ibi and the Ibit. The left eye is heaven, the moon. The left eye of Ra, the moon, which would be Aset. One of her titles was the Ibit, the moon goddess, Aset. The dual light in the darkness, the two eyes, the two Awajit. Those that can see through the cloudiness of this matrix. This is Sa behind them. Sa is steering the boat of consciousness. This was a boat representing consciousness. We're going to get into that soon. On the handle here, if you notice, he's holding a beak, a particular type of beak. He's holding Tehuti's beak to steer the oars, or his thoughts, or his consciousness. So every one of us is Sa. We are consciousness recognizing itself. Without our physical bodies in this physical realm, we could not experience this life here. That's the necessity of our body, so that consciousness can recognize itself in this realm. Just like when we go into the dream state, you don't need the body. You just need a certain frequency. And you will see whatever that frequency represents. So if you want to learn more about Aset and how she relates to the Ibit, go over to the Teachings of Ma'at website or our YouTube channel and look for the video Egyptian goddess Isis, mother of Horus, what her name means, and her association with magic. I just don't have time to break that down here. So the Netzer Sa is us, our perception under the direction of Ma'at. Sa is a form of Tehuti. We're back to forms again. Everybody has different forms throughout the course of their day. This is the teaching of Ma'at form. So Sa also represents Tehuti. Why? Because our thoughts, our language creates our perception of on this physical world, and even in the subatomic. Sa is to know, wisdom, knowledge, the Sa'it. Sa is a town. It's a town of Osiris. See the new symbol there. Sa is everyone. Yeah. No separation. And when they say everyone, they're talking about the Canadians. They're not talking about the Greeks and the Jews and all these other people. They're talking about specific, they're talking about the culture of Ma'at, the ancient Egyptians. Because this language prevailed all the other ones, so that's all they knew was just them. So when they say everyone, they're talking about themselves, because they're looking at life in a certain perspective. Their perspective doesn't match up with the ones here in the United States, so therefore it can't be everyone, right? So Sa is the god of knowledge and intelligence. Back to Tehuti. Sa is also the Ka'u, as I showed before, of Ra. Are you ready for another gem? A very valuable connection between us, our visions, our perceptions, and the goddesses and gods. Here we go. To know by sight. So recognize. So it goes back to the etymology of perception, which means to recognize, and this is directly where they got it from, which is sai or sa. Sai sounds vaguely familiar to another word that deals with eyes. Could it be sight, sai? And sai means to recognize. So the actual English word connects right back to the Medu Neter, dealing with the eye or the Wadjet. Part 3, the magical boat ride, the boat of consciousness. So this photo, this papyrus image right here, this rendition, this recreation, is a popular one. Many of us have seen it. And the brother in the middle that's holding up Newt is called Shu. And Shu means to rise up, to lift up. And his hands are what? In the Ka position. The Shuti also deals with heaven and the sky. The Shu means to unload a ship. If you look at the glyphs here, we're dealing with the subatomic realm and our language and our thoughts. We have Shu's feather, dealing with breath. We have the symbol for eternity. We have the papyrus roll. And we have a brother with the, I want to say bandolier, with the bow, with the staff, ready to put in some action, the protection symbol. And I don't have time too much to get into why Shu is called a ship and why the ship pertains to consciousness here. So maybe at some point in the future I will. The Kashu is the pilot of the boat of Ra. The Kawu, you see that? This is called the Kawu. You see over here, I know it's small. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in with this program. But on the bottom right-hand corner, next to the red box, you'll see in the glyph of a person holding up Nut, or holding up the sky. Right here, the Kawu. Why? Because it is our personal energy that holds up our vibration, not only to ourselves, but to others, and to what's resonating within the universe. Therefore, that's why as you're breathing, as you're alive, you are piloting the boat of your Ka, because Ka also represents light, which is Ra. And when you unload your ship, i.e. your light, which is swampy and in murky waters, which is the matrix, you unload burdens that were put on us since birth here and no longer affect us, no longer represent us. So where you get to a point now, you can go at anything usually with a calm, cool, collected state. There's no need to be anxious, or everything that a lot of people pay big money to try to solve is right here on the walls, on the papyrus. Everything that people try to solve in their daily life, relationships with themselves and others, is right here. All controllable by us. So back to the 14 Kawus, we see another one, which is the number 9, which is the Wajit, the eye, which is what? Held up by the Ka. See that? Because depending how I feel, that's how the situation is going to look at me, and that's how I'm going to build it into my future. Depending how I feel. This is why Isfet is so insidious. Listen, I'm going to keep it real. I check Isfet throughout the course of my day after almost a decade in this, because Isfet never goes away as long as you're in the physical realm conscious. So there's a blueprint here in the 14 Kawus. I've only pointed out 3. And maybe this symbol here, number 1, could be a question for Saba Tehuti in the future. But the ones I did give you tonight, perception and the Wajit, can take you a long way to begin with. I love this image here. I could lay down. You can't lay down because this is actually a ceiling. But man. It's beautiful. There's so much just in this one ceiling painting. This would be a whole class in itself. Okay. This meta word "im," or "aim." This created what we now know as Amen or Imen, Iman, Amen Ra, right? This is the root. On it, you see a boat and a ship. Because the Comedians didn't differentiate between the physical realm and the subatomic realm. Everything was connected, therefore their physical boats were named after subatomic metaphorical language, thoughts. The hidden boat is our consciousness. The Imum Ut is another form of the sky goddess Nut. The Imu, the vibrational waves, Mu, representing water, Ut, the opener of the way, the Upawat. I know this might sound foreign to those that are new or watching in the future, but those that are actually in the classes and in their books know what I'm talking about. We're going to get into the oops very briefly here tonight. Why is this important? Stay with me. We're almost done. This is the fascinating part. So those of you that talk about Ma'at a lot, very basic. Well, it's basic now to us. For those that are new, it's not basic, so I do apologize. The Ma represents our sight. That's why you see all different versions of eyes on here, okay? The Ma also means to perceive. So the English word perceive came from the Ma. The Ma creates the Ma'at because together it represents the standards of Kemet, from the rulership, from the leaders, all the way down to the essential soldiers and builders, and the guy that worked on the docks, or the guy that worked in the field. Everybody was important. So Ma created Ma'at, which is the female energy, which was the basis, the standard of everyone in Kemet. It was the perception they held for tens of thousands of years before the Greeks came in and ruined that. The Ma Kenti. If you look at my name now, you'll see below it, you'll see the Kenti Aha. The Kenti Aha. The Kenti, one of the meanings is a temple. Putting it into metaphorical terms, you've all heard or should have heard, the body is a temple. So it's the god of the magical ferry boat, the celestial ferry man or woman, because that is you right now in your consciousness. Again, the boat is your consciousness. Your body is also the temple. It is the container of that consciousness. And what it contains is memories, which is represented by a Ma'u. A Ma'u, the M-A-U, which is mind or memory. Which also goes to who? No, we're not there. It also goes back to Sekhmet, the goddess Sekhmet, who dealt with memory, the memory goddess. The Ma'ati. A lot of you might have heard of the halls of Ma'ati. They now call it the Hypothalamus Hall, but a whole different other names to confuse us. The halls of Ma'ati. The Ma'ati, the boat of truth. Who is on the boat of truth? Well, it's Haru. Haru is on a boat of truth with his harpoon, with his spear. Protecting who? Our consciousness. The Ma'ati are the two plumes, the two arms, the two feathers. It's representing the two original mates of men, of us, which is Nebhet and Auset. Nephthys, I hate that name, and Isis, because in the original picture, our women would support us. That's why you see two arms. The arms with a backbone. The arms of our women is a metaphorical picture and also a physical picture of them supporting us, not cutting us down. It's also the name of the first field in Tuat. The field is dealing with what? It's dealing with the quantum realm, which also deals with the Seka Aru, or the fields of reeds. Remember, it's right back to the reed flute playing music. To learn more about these fields, watch the video titled Goddess Sekhmet Lines Remember. This is also in the Teachings of Ma'at Live playlist. Just look for the video Goddess Sekhmet Lines Remember, and it breaks down all the quantum fields that we enter in the dream state, and we're going to enter when we die, leave our physical bodies. All right. So back to the Oot. Here is the Oot. The Oot is the horns. You often see these horns on top of the goddesses, sometimes the gods, but more often the goddesses, especially Hetaru and Aset. And it has many different meanings. For tonight, I'm just going to use it for dreams. And also I'm going to reference here because the picture that I'm going to go back to, the painting, the beautiful painting of Nut on the ceiling in the temple, if you look closely, it's multiple different pictures that you'll find online. And I would give you where to find it, but I like people to do research too. So if you research it, you will find beautiful images that you can scroll through, zoom in. And in one of the glyphs, you'll see a Techet, or the Djed pillar, rising out of the middle. Very important. That could be a class in its own. Very important. The Techet or the Djed is rising out of the Oot because you're building your strength in your dreams. You really think the people that rule over us physically want us to know this, man? That you can alter your life at any moment? Yeah, so in your dreams is where you're building. Let's get to it. Our physical experience is directly governed by our dream reality subconsciousness. So you're literally building your physical reality that you're living in right this moment prior to your last night dreams, to the dreams from the nights previous to that, from years ago, from decades ago, from dreams from decades ago. Everything is constructing the story that we call life, that put us in the position that I'm in right now, teaching you from a screen and you watching from your computer screen. This is not by chance. This is not just from the past years. The teachings of Ma'at has been around. This has been going on your entire life. That's why I don't truly blame anyone but myself for anything. But I used to when I was ignorant to this knowledge. So our physical experience is directly governed by our dream reality. So if I could stress anything again tonight, it'd be start learning as much as you can from the meta-netter and how to start dreaming again. So that the dreams can actually build what you want now, because we all have wants and desires. And this is for those who support and ask me for more life. Consistency is key. That was for somebody in the room. Thank you. There are people in the room that consistently send me donations. And they want more life. And I really appreciate you. I want you to know that. And I really appreciate the students that support as well. I appreciate you too. So remember, the Ma'ah also means to sleep. So the ancestors had a word for sleep. And it was the Ma'ah. It was your sight in the dream realm. I love dreaming now. I used to be either indifferent or if I had a nightmare in the past, I didn't want to go back to sleep or go back the following day to sleep. Like I didn't dread it, but I was like, man, I wasn't looking forward to it. Tonight, I'm like, I can't wait, you know, because when you get to a point where you can hop in a dream and it's just like you're just creating in there and you're meeting new people that you're going to meet in your future, and you're talking to material. And for those of you that are new, you might think this guy is on some really good weed. This guy's, I want to get some of that. I want to go to the dispensary and go buy some tonight. Where can I get that? But this isn't weed. I spent a lot of money on weed trying to get to the state that I'm in now. And this is just pure cacao energy. And you can have it too. And you do that through the ma'at, through sleeping, through the dreaming. And then you recreate the dreams right here in this realm. And here is the kick. You just got to stay out of the way. You just got to stay out of the way. What I mean is the Nook has to recognize its position, and then you let the people that are in the subconscious realm, which are within your consciousness, create what you want here in this realm by being open and honest with yourself and others, and being consistent and disciplined on what you do. And believe me, if you had asked me any of this even 12 years ago, I wouldn't know any of this. That's the power. So back to this beautiful picture that our ancestors created, just a tiny part of it. Did you notice anything on this picture here, looking at you the entire time? It's the Wajid, the two Wajid, staring at us from the ceiling. So when we're looking up, we would be looking up at this in the temple, and it would be the Nut. It would be the eye in the sky looking down at us, within an eye. Because these patterns down here that look like a border, which are a part of the wall, everything is continuously flowing up. We're going to get to that. Excuse me. So what I'm about to highlight here is powerful. This is a close-up of this image here. This is a close-up. So on the screen here is you. See the face? And it has Hetaru on top, right? It has a Ut with Ra, the light, rising, symbolizing consciousness, symbolizing the dream realm, leaving the physical realm to go into the subatomic realm, rising up. Above it, we have the Ma Kenti, the magical boat, represented by what? The lioness, which is who? Sekhmet, which is Sakau, or the Sek, which is memory. So going back into our minds, or the subatomic realm, we're tapping back into memory. And once you start learning the Medu Neter, you're literally tapping into the ancestors' memory, because remember, space and time are just constructs of the brain. So it can function here in the physical realm, so we all don't just sit on our couches and never do anything and stare at a wall, just hypnotized. So this is why we say we are our ancestors, because we are our ancestors. The memory is what's creating that little word ancestor, excuse me, trying to roll the tongue here. The literal word of ancestor is Pa, which creates the Pa'ut, which are who? Which are the original 9 Natiru, which today is called erroneously the Enad. The Pa'ut is also linked to what? What I talked about before, the Jet, which is your light spine, which is now erroneously called the what? The Kundalini. So again, when we're looking in the so I just love this, man, because this consumes your whole life. You can't think about anything else. Everything on the walls is just consuming you, and it's just constant information coming. You don't have time to be stressed and worried about bills and all this other craziness that goes on in the societies we live in today. And the best thing is preparing you to go back into a more limitless environment, which is the subatomic realm. So we're looking at the walls, the physical realm. Looking up above that is what? Memory. Above that is what? The field of Ma'ati. It's symbolized by waves. See that? And the flowers over here symbolize the hydrogen atom or the subatomic realm. So I can either do this while I'm physically awake, which you can, or it's easier to do it because the body puts your ego or the nook to sleep, so it can move out of the way. But those of us can do it now, like putting the nook to partial sleep and moving it out of the way, so you can what? Project, or as they call it today, the out-of-body experience during a waking state or physical state. This is how they're doing it. But I'm just going to use a dream state. You go to sleep, right? You wake up in the dream state here. You're doing that. All of a sudden, the memories start coming back in from the past because they don't go away. They're eternal. You're on this quote-unquote boat, this magical boat, which is your memories, which is based off vibrations and frequencies on a subatomic level, because now you're in the subatomic realm, which is called the field of Ma'ati, which is where atoms and goes even deeper, because Ma'at has many meanings. She was also the goddess who opened the mouth of what's the dead. And it's also the spiritual dead, as we call it today, the Ut. Because above these realms is who? The Natiru in the Tuat realm, because the five-pointed star, or the star, is also known as the Tua, which creates the word Tuat, which brings back in what? The feminine energy, which is the place where all of us that follow Ma'at want to eventually live eternally, which is with who? All the Netzers in alignment in consciousness. So when we don't recognize the power of the Ka, this is our eternal perception living inside the matrix. Now listen, I don't care who you F tonight, who you F sec, I don't care about any of that. Just for me, I don't do that. I don't condone this. Because what can he teach her other than more of this? More of this on the right. More of this on the lower left. All these guys here, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just say they're all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's somebody off camera here. 9. And then this guy here with his costume. And then this guy here with his costume. Show up. Yeah, I'll give it to him. Maybe 1 or 2 might do something. I'm not condoning this. I'm just saying. I'm using this hypothetically. I'm not condoning anybody do this. But they can show up, and then eventually this is going to fold because nobody owns these. Nobody manufactures these. What happens when these run out? Then nobody is see in Kemet, there's a hierarchy. No matter if you like the person or not, there's a hierarchy. This is grown man talk, as I've heard people say. Even though we're all growing, I'm just using it for here. This is how you win on the physical front. You don't, who cares with the guy's personality? I don't care. Can you do the job, man, in a orderly fashion? Can you do it quickly, precise? Can you make it happen? That's all that matters. Because right now, there's bullets coming at us. Unfortunately, they have numbers, but they don't have that mentality. And it's a lot of things. Lack of discipline, accountability. It's a lot of things. I didn't touch. That's funny. I'm not touching the screen right now, and it's doing this. What's going on? So I always say these brothers right here are our front lines. They're the warrior class, and they need brothers like us on the panel and those of you in the chat. Sisters too. There's sisters on a panel here that are, their health is totally out the window. They're going to die soon. They don't even know it. Like the obese sister here. There's sisters that are doing all types of things to their bodies to attract undisciplined men that just can't lead. Men that can't lead them out of his mentality. Because is every Tamahu like this? No. Collectively they are, though. It's just how we are biologically. So I know some of you have Tamahu mates. That's fine. But for me, I will not take one, ever. And I did have Tamahu mates in the past, and I can say that. And my mother's a Tamahu, and I would say that to her too. Just because she made a mistake doesn't mean I have to make the same. This is my book here, Freedom Through God's Word. If you're interested, hit me up on email, Facebook, Instagram, hit up teachingsofahati.org. This is where this picture's from, if you're interested. Lastly, this is from R.O. Faulkner. I always show utterances and things that I do consistently on a daily basis. This is one of my utterances in the morning. Plate 18 from the Papyrus of Ani. It's from R.O. Faulkner's book. And this is one of the scenes from it. Because my whole reality is destroying Isfet today, whether it's inside of me and from without. This is just partially. I read a good part of the plate. This one pertains to tonight's presentation. It says, "Hail to you, O Ra, when you rise in a tomb, when you set. How beautiful are your rising and your shining on the Par-ee back of your mother Nut. You have appeared." Excuse me. My writing confused me there. It says, "How beautiful are your rising and your shining on the back of your mother Nut, you having appeared as Par-ee of the Netter. The lower sky has greeted you, justice embraces you at all times." You hear that? That's true justice, because you're rising with what resonates with you, not with what resonates with me or other people. You're being true to yourself. You transverse the sky happily, and the lake of the two knives is in contentment. There's nothing, even if there's stuff out here that's trying to chop you down or cut you down or throw shade at you or whatever it is, it'll hesitate before it does that, because we feel each other's energy. The rebel has fallen, his arms are bound, a knife has severed his spine, but Ra will have a fair wind, for the night bark has destroyed those who would attack him. You hear that? The rebel, Isfet, has fallen, his arms are bound, a knife has severed his spine, but Ra will have a fair wind, the shoe, for the night bark has destroyed those. Your consciousness has destroyed those who would attack you, would attack us. The consciousness is constantly at work. You physically don't have to say much or do much anymore. The Southerners, the Northerners, the Westerners, and the Easterners tow you because of the praise of you. It means they support you. Ozep Tepe, Nataru, whose images have come into being. The voice goes forth, your thoughts, and the earth is inundated with silence. It means it doesn't matter if there's chaos. It's like going on all around you. And believe me, where I live, it constantly goes on. But I have content. I have peace. The earth is inundated with silence, for the Soul One came into existence in the night sky before the plains and the mountains existed. Sound frequency, your frequency, our frequency has existed before there was a term called space and time. Tap into that. The herdsman, the Soul Lord, who made whatever exists, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter what it is. He has fashioned the tongue of the Peshat or the Inan. So this being created the frequency, the energy, the emotion, the thoughts of even our ancestors. O you who took what is in the waters, you issue thence unto the bank of Lake of Haru. Which is a great question to ask because this created something in religion. I breathe the air which comes out of your nose, the north wind which comes forth from your mother. You glorify my Khu. You make Asar, my soul, my Ba, great. I worship you. Be content. I want you to be happy with me. Forget about how I feel. How do you feel? Be content. O Nebuchur of the Natiru. Nebuchur is the all, the everything. The universe. Be content with me. For you are exalted in your heavens, in the sky, in your realm. And your rays over my chest are like the day. This is just a small section of what I do in the morning and read. So you imagine doing this, just this part. I'm shivering right now. Just doing this part, and then you just get up and do it. You're gonna be accomplishing everything you set your heart to. Just about. You won't have enough time in your day. So thank you for your support. Continue to rise and grow with the teachings of Ma'at. To join Teachings of Ma'at as an official member, go to our website link posted in the description below. Do not forget to, like I said in the beginning of this, do not forget to support the brothers on the panel next to me. Matter of fact, support them as much as you support me. They definitely deserve it. They put in a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. Like I said, when I was done with this presentation, because I have many other things I'm doing, so I'm trying to do things in a certain time frame. My brain was throbbing. I had to lay down on the couch for like 20 minutes. But give these brothers the same admiration, the same love off screen that you give to me. It's easy for me to go up here, yeah, Tap, yeah, Menkhu, yeah, Ahati, yeah, you're the best, you're the greatest. Do it in the darkness of your consciousness. Do it when you go to sleep tonight. You know, some brothers, some real brothers. I might not have much, but I'm gonna give them back. Just show these brothers. These brothers got things going on. Menkhu has a lot he's into with the children. He needs a lot of help. He needs help with the talent show. He needs to raise money for our annual meetup. Tef has stuff he has in the works with his mates that he's gonna be preparing to present. He's gonna need assistance, and Ani's always got stuff going. Ani's the architect, production guy. He's doing tons of things, and he needs assistance too. And all this takes time and money. So if you can't give the money, give the time. And if you appreciate our teachings, especially tonight, show reciprocity, and also show reciprocity and love to our great Saba, Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. That's all I have. Peace.
Oh, Tap, peace and love. Drop a bomb for my brother. Show your support. Show your support for my brother. Ahati Maat, peace and love, brother. Y'all know that. Hey, look, he just gave a whole 2-hour presentation on how we can recognize ourselves. Y'all know y'all not getting these teachings like this. Teachingsofmyart.org. 2 eyes. Hey, Menkhu. Menkhu. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes.
Menkhu, I thought it was 2 separate eyes, brother. Hey, what you think of the teachers, brother? Teachingsofmyart.org. Man, listen, it's the best. Shout out to you, Angela Gates. I see you. Menkhu, what you think, brother?
That was, first of all, there's so many layers to this teaching tonight. It was powerful on so many levels. What I really love that our 2 master teachers do on this platform, I really love when the teachings match what you perceive, what you get to witness with your eyes. And so the duality of the visuals with the sound vibration, oh man, the light is very powerful. What I really, really love, how effortlessly Ahati taught. And I really love how comfortable he was in his chamber, in his temple. He seemed very calm, very solid, very strong in his teaching, and he covered so much ground. There's a lot of healing, a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge in what he taught, and you can feel the love. That is important. You could feel the MERI. I really felt that teaching, and he actually talked about, I love the breakdown with the music and the feeling. You just cover so much. It's just keep going higher and higher. The teachings and what you get from the teachings of Ma'at just keeps expanding, and it's limitless. The videos, he went into Inception. You can't get this nowhere else. And so not only is Ani, but we're all starting to be an echo of Tehuti, and that's, to echo Ma'at, to echo the energy of the Netaru. That's what we're here for. The connectivity. Ahati talk about that. Ahati, I was paying attention. I love it. I love it. I love it, teacher, healer, all you brothers. Very excited. This is what I'm here for. This is what guided me. This is what I was looking for. And I'm here, and it's a pleasure. It's an honor. It was magnificent teaching. Shout outs to you. Thank you for that, per EE. Thank you for that. That was amazing.
First, I just want to say,
Yo, let's go.
To know by sight. Ahati, that was genius, though, brother. To know by sight. You know what? Hey.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. Great brother. I love how every metanetter word you went into showed how it was connected to the boat. So that was beautiful, and the journey, it was a real journey you took us through. It was smooth sailing. You didn't let Shu push us too hard, too fast. It was smooth sailing, and it was perfect. So, I mean, you dropped a lot of great gems. Tua for the teaching about the Sa, the to know and to perceive, and the Peh. That was phenomenal. Connecting everything, the perception, perceive, and taking that to inception. The way we live inception, I must be dreaming. Tua for doing that. That was beautiful. That word, that perceive goes back to the per is I usually do my swimming through etymology, and I was looking up the word praise and how praise goes back to the purr as well. And there's 5 different sections in etymology for the purr, and we know that goes back to the meta-netter word purr. It's the purr imheru, the coming forth, the move forward. And so the perception and the ma'at, and to see and connecting it to the men to think. Yeah, that was phenomenal. Tua, great brother, for what you do, for what you do, and your mind, your ka, for when you go to sit down and you go to go deep within and study, and what you come out on the other side with it to present to us is, I ain't gonna use fire today, I'm gonna use water today. So it was phenomenal, great brother. So Tua, for your wonderful teachings, and you got some excellent support in. So if you want to support this great brother, of course, the links are down below. His personal links are down below as well. His Instagram, Facebook. Be sure you're following him on those. Support him and his business, Ma'at's Fragrance. Phenomenal smelling fragrances, smell like designer. Is fire. So definitely support him and his fragrances. Those links are in the chat, so reach out to him. And so I'll show the support. I'll show the support that we got in for this wonderful presentation, the Goddess Nut and the magical boat ride. And it was absolutely magical.
Ani, do we
go ahead, good brother.
I was just gonna ask, can we give a Tef an opportunity to share what he thought about the teachings of Ahati?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you did. So go ahead, good brother.
No, go ahead. I did, brother.
Okay.
Yo, that was phenomenal, brother. To recognize, to perceive, to know. 2 eyes.
Beautiful, beautiful.
All right. Here's the great brother Jason Kirkland, who sends 572. He says, Tua Ahati Maat, Nefer teachings, Nefer Sakim Golden Wing.
Yeah, I just want to say Jason supports a lot outside of this. To you, Jason. To you.
Yes, this great brother supports consistently. To this great member of the T.O.M, Jason Kirkland. The whole panel, Ma'at, Factor, Nefer backgrounds. Yes, sir. Tua. All right. Next. Big Vapes sends $5 for Ahati Nut Breakdown 6/18/2023 from Cabo Damo. Big Vapes is another excellent supporter, consistent. This great brother supports in many different ways, and also another member of the T.O.M. So shout out to you, great brother, for all your support that you give. All right. Let's move down the Nile here. All right, we got Stephen E., the great brother Stephen E., 2172, for I value the great teacher. Tua Nefer Tanu. Tua to you, great brother Stephen E., for your consistency, for appreciating the teachings. He said, I value, and of course that goes back to the perception. What do we value based on, our perception, goes back to the per. So Tua to you for your ma'ah, for your ability to see and value what's important, and for utilizing it and spreading it. So Tua to you, great brother Stephen E. All right. All right, we have Carolina Mancia, the Nabet Per. She sends $10. She says, Henu to all the great brothers, mentors on the panel, for all the great work that you all do. All the work done to put these spectacular classes together does not go unnoticed. Right. Tua to you, great Carolina Mancia, for your consistent support, for everything that you do, for supporting the T.O.M the way that you do, for everything that you do behind the scenes as well. So Tua and Henu to you as well. All right. Next we have Primordial Thought 9. Once again, another class based on your name, great brother. It's a wonderful name. Tua Ahati, $10. All right. Yeah, Tua to you, great brother, Primordial Thought. Another active member of the T.O.M. So shout out to you, great brother, for your consistent support and for what you're doing as well behind the scenes. So Tua. All right. And let's see here. All right. Here we go. Here's the great sister, Malkia Wa Mungu, who sends $8. She says, wish I could give more. It's coming though. Yes, it is coming. This is appreciated. Yes, this is appreciated right here. It's about, what it is that you have to support us with. Whether it's $1, like the great brother Ahati says, $3.33 or $21.72, like Stephen E. Every single penny has an energy associated with it. So Tua for sending through your energy and supporting us and letting us know that you appreciate this information, and also Tua to you as well for what you do behind the scenes. A lot of these great brothers and sisters are consistent with their works outside of these classes, and elevating their consciousnesses and their lives to be able to benefit themselves more and connect more to the ancient ancestors and practice what they brought forth for us. So shout out to you, great sister, for that.
I just want to say something real quick to her.
Yes, sir.
My sister Maungu, your wish, you can give more. The wish is you. But the fact that you're giving something is very important too, because you don't have to give anything. You can sit in the background in the shadows. But I just want to let you know our wishes are linked with our desire, and there'll be a time where you'll be giving the most, just like Sister Sharika. But there's no competition here. As long as you're making an effort, I know how it is. I mean, I haven't been the best at financial situations, but if you really appreciate something, you'll give your last dollar, and you're doing that. So we appreciate you too.
Absolutely. All right. next. That was the last one, but there was another who sent in some support. So, of course, Terry Patty sends $20. Came in late and missed most of the presentation. This is support for the replay. Tua, Ahati, and brother. All right, yes, Tua, for your support. You're going to enjoy the wonderful presentation that great brother Ahati brought forth for us. So thank you. Thank you for your support and everyone who supports Tua for that. The link is posted. It's at the top of the chat. So if you want to come in and let yourself be heard and be seen, and let the great brother Ahati let him know how you felt about his presentation, hit that link. Come through. Your words are also ways of supporting. So if you do not have financial means at this moment, you can also give words as well, which this great brother broke down how important that is, right? The sound vibration. So hit that link and come forth. And also, while it's on my mind, I also want to tell everyone, Nefer Atef Heru, to all the great fathers out there, to all the great fathers out there who are taking care of business, right? And doing what you need to do to protect and raise your children. So to every one of you. All right. Yes, link is pinned to the top. Join us. Come join us.
Mr. Come join us. That's right. Come join us. Menkhu, that's old school. Let's go. Hotel. TeachersMI.org. Come join us. I'm working on this assignment, guys, and my computer's acting up. I hope I'm not going in and out. Am I glitching?
No, you're good, brother.
We can hear you.
Yeah, man, we gotta recognize that we create our reality, and this is what the teachings of Ma'at. This is what we've been focusing on the truth and understanding how important what we say, what we do, what we consume, the environments that we are in, everything that we take in, and how important it is, how important our perception is, because a lot of people's perception is very, very, very distorted. And it's time that we wake up and we start using Ma'at as our foundation to base our perception on. Like the good brother said, our perception should be governed by Ma'at. And that's a fact. And that is what's wrong with these brothers now and sisters that's out here. When you look around you, it's sad. It really is sad. But once we understand how much control we actually have, then we can begin to take back control and begin to live the reality that we're supposed to be living, the way we're supposed to be living, and celebrating each other and taking care of each other the way we're supposed to be, taking care of our family, because our perception is so distorted. It's sad, man. When you look at what's going on out there, our standard has become the oppressor's standard. Now we killing kids and putting them in refrigerators and doing ridiculousness, stuff that we had no idea of. We couldn't even vibrate on that frequency once upon a time. Now we easily get there, man. When you look at what's going on, we easily get to that same frequency now. Now when you know, y'all ever watch the radio show when they do when they say to guess the gender or guess who, and then they'll give you a scenario. Well, yeah, no, they'll give you a scenario and they'll say, guess who did it, a boy or a girl, a man or a woman. You know, it's ridiculous, man, the things that are going on. Once upon a time, if it was a crime or if it was something done, you used to could say, oh, it was this person or it was that person. Now it's so ridiculous. We so lost and backwards. Now it's so much stuff going on. Now you don't know who did it. You don't know who's responsible for it. The chaos It's so much chaos out there. There is so much chaos that our people are participating in that it's very hard to distinguish the real from the fake. So this is why it's important that we fix our sight and that we get that Heru vision that brother spoke about. So teachingsmmaat.org. Shout out to the best teacher on the internet, the best teacher, period. Hail Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. Hail Ahati Maat. Hail Menkhu Ara Meri Maat. Hail Ani Scribe. Scribe, my good brother Ani, the best architect on the internet, brother. I used to be watching them other shows and be like, man, listen, we need a good architect. Now we got the best architect, we got the best teacher, we got the best internet. We coming, guys. We small right now, but we coming. I know y'all see us because y'all not getting teachings like this. Y'all not getting it like this. Only thing y'all getting on them other channels is arguing. Straight isfet, and this is why we stay in a state of confusion. This is why people stay in a state of confusion. This is why those other channels, the people are not getting the type of support that we're getting. We have 19 people in the chat, and we have almost half that amount of support. So shout out to everybody that supports the truth. Shout out to
how many
everybody.
likes do we have? It's us. How many likes do we have?
Let me see. I can't see that. Ani, how many likes we got, brother? Can you see that?
We got 24 likes.
24 likes and 19 people in the chat right now. Come on, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. This is all because we have the best teacher. We have the best internet. We have the best channel right now. We coming, guys. We are coming. Mr. Come join us. teachingsmmaat.org. Like, subscribe, and comment.
That's a radio slogan.
Yeah, y'all see it.
Put on a t-shirt. Mr. Come join us.
Mr. Come join us. I'm telling you, man. Come join. Hey, what you want? You want the truth or the lie? The truth or the lie is up to you.
Another slogan.
What? The truth or the lie, right?
Yeah, you could be branding those, man. Truth,
The love
what do you
is
want?
real.
Truth or the lie?
What
Mr.
you
Come
want?
join us.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Come join us. Hey, the love is real. The love is real. That's what it is. The love is real. And the way that you taught us today, my good brother, we know it's absolute love. And the way that you motivated our excellent teacher to come out to the world, to the internet, and teach us and allow us to be introduced to Ma'at, the way Ma'at is supposed to be represented. To you, my brother, for that. Hail to you, infinite gratitude to you for that. And infinite gratitude to you, my good brother Ani, for being a young example of leadership in a young age, representing out there, standing tall, representing, leading the teachings of Ma'at and representing consistently. And shout out to you, Menkhu, for your dedication and leadership and loyalty as well, my brother. It's an honor to stand next to you, brothers, and to learn from you, brothers, and to teach with you, brothers. It is an honor. teachingsmmaat.org. This is what men look like. This is what your uncles are supposed to represent. This is what your big brothers are supposed to represent. This is the frequency that you were supposed to get from your father, from your big homie, from whoever. This is the frequency that you're supposed to get. teachingsmmaat.org. Y'all know what it is. Come join us. Shout out to Primordial Thought. We see you, my good brother. Shout out to you. Shout out to. Go ahead, brother.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut your bill.
No, go, brother. Go.
Cut the shout outs, but I wanted to hail you for your powerful voice, your powerful energy, for your great example as a father, and being the glue to this team and what you represent for the teachings of Ma'at as well. So making sure that love is spread to everybody. So shout out to you, brother.
To my brother, Nini. Look, I appreciate that, brother. You know what? So you know what? people say that all the time, right? And I personally have a hard time accepting the Happy Father's Day and all of those different things, because just me personally, I just feel as though we shouldn't get the credit for things that we're supposed to be doing. So I appreciate it from everybody that salute, but you know, it's just sad because this is what we're supposed to be doing, and we've fallen that far to where we need that. We need the Tamahu to tell us when we're supposed to celebrate being a TEF. You know what I'm saying? When we didn't need that. You know, we don't need that. I don't need the pat on the back. You know, and shout out to all the suckers out there that's getting that representation, knowing they baby mama been asking them for Pampers for the last week, right? And they gonna get that celebration. We don't deserve that celebration until we stand up as men and begin to protect our family and represent as men, as fathers. So shout out to you and shout out to all the fathers that do represent. But I just find it hard to accept recognition for something that we're supposed to be doing regularly. But too off for the appreciation, my brother.
That's facts. That's facts. I appreciate what you just shared. And Ahati shared something that was very simple, but extremely profound in his teaching and his presentation. He talked about when he showed the word God, and he talked about how important it is to be connected to our origins. And because a lot of people are not connected to their origin, that's why they're having so many problems.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If you don't know who you are at the core, you can always be fooled. You're always going to take somebody else's perception on their own life and try to include it into yours, because at the end of the day, we all want to be comfortable. There's a rare person on the planet that doesn't want to be comfortable, and the way to do that is to change your perception. However, if I don't have the right information to do that pertains strictly to me, then I'm in a world of hurt. I can't relate to what Aten is going through right now. As a father, I can't relate to that because I have my own situation as being a father. I can empathize, I can hear him, but I can't take how he sees his children and try to apply it to mine. And we do that. We see what the Tamu is doing. The Tamu is successful, whether it's business, wherever it is. We try to apply that, not those of us in the chat or on the panel, we try to apply that into our own individual lives, and it always blows up in disaster. Why not try obeying yourself or ourselves? Why not try a new way of life, which is following Ma'at? I can guarantee you, your life will change for the better. Listen, I'm laughing because if you had met me before I met Saba, oh man, this wouldn't even be happening. So, you can't fake that. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You can't fake love. You can't fake who you are at the core. And at the core, who we are our ancestors. And our ancestors were the Nichiru and the people that followed the energy that was a fertile birthing, building energy. And you can't fake that. You can't go around that. You can't go around the consistency, the discipline, the work ethic, the information, the research, the sacrifice. Oh, the constant sacrifice we all have to go through up on this panel to do what we do. It's a lot easier for us to just sit on the couch. It's a lot easier to be, in my opinion, it's a lot easier to be undisciplined than to be disciplined. It's a lot easier for me to be spontaneous than to be consistent. And you can't build anything long-term that way. It's impossible, especially collectively. And another thing that I noticed before I pass the mic is that as young brothers, I'm speaking to the young brothers that are watching me, we have something within us where, especially when we're young, but even old, we have this thing where we want respect. I want respect. Give me my respect, yo. Give me my props, yo. Yo, you don't get that until you give yourself respect, man. You don't get that until you give yourself respect. And the way you do that is being true to your core and listening to others for a change. And I had to learn that the hard way, and now I'm living it the soft way, meaning it's a lot easier just listening to brothers that know more than me and gathering information and then utilizing it if it's going to work. And I'm just speaking from my point of view. You don't have to take a word I just said and use it, or you could be like, this guy, he tells me what to do too much. I don't want to hear this no more. I came here to learn about Amenhotep Ra and all this other stuff. Fine, you can just tune me out, but I'm talking to ones that are desperate like I was when I met Saba and wanted their life to change dramatically and quickly. I didn't have time. I live every day today as if I'm gonna die, because that's how every other species, my snakes, my tarantulas, the raccoons outside, the coyotes outside, everything but us knows what's happening here except us, collectively as a people. And we don't have time to waste. And that's why I live today. And the great thing about Ma'at is when you truly love her and are living her, you're not afraid anymore to transition or go into the next realm. So if this is the last night, so be it, because eternity is already built within this realm. I hope that's making sense to everybody. And I'll pass the mic.
Hotep, it make a lot of sense, my brother. It make a lot of sense. It make absolute sense. If you got insight and you want to know and you on that frequency, that's the thing. That's what I used to wonder all the time. I used to be like, man, you know, how do these people not recognize, like, what, like, where's the like, how do they not see? What are they missing? Like, how am I seeing it, but they're not seeing it? But it's the way you taught, brother. If you're not on that frequency and your eye isn't open to perceive that, if you're vibrating on that frequency of Isfet, then that's what you're going to perceive. That's what your reality is going to be. So shout out to you, brother, for those teachings, because it was absolutely brilliant the way that you broke that down. Even the way I have to interpret it and digest it is, for me, is very slow, but I completely understand where you're coming from. And it is paramount that our people begin to understand things like this of high intelligence versus the reality shows and the ignorance that we're so accustomed to. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with entertaining yourself and the jokes and the pranks and all of that. But at the same time, are you educating yourself? Are you attempting to be better today than you were yesterday? Are you searching yourself thoroughly? Because the instructions are out there. They're written in stone. They're written on papyrus. The tones are there, and they're being reiterated by my young brother SCRIIIBE in music today. So there's no excuse, as Brother Ahati said, there's no excuse for you to be able to find the truth, because wherever you at, however old or young you are, the knowledge is there for you, and Ma'at is real. So it's just up to you to be able to recognize that. So, you know, with that being said, come join us. The link is in the chat. Come up to the panel and come let us know what you thought. Shout out to you, Carolina. And come let us know what you thought. You know, we've been going now for 3 hours consistently. We're you know what, we're consistently giving the truth too. I used to hail Saba. Saba gives the truth for a whole 2 years. The track record, our Discog is getting like that too now. Untouchable. Untouchable.
We're coming on a year.
No arguing, right? No Isfet. Come on now. Just straight knowledge, just straight learning, straight teaching. It's a beautiful thing, man. It is a beautiful thing right now in 2023. 2023 years after what though? But teachersmI.org, like, subscribe, and comment. Come join us. The link is in the chat.
Wanted to say something.
Go ahead.
I was real quick, Ahati. I was just wanted to say something and hail you, because I once heard something that was pivotal to me. I heard that someone said the most important conversation that you will have Every day is the conversation that you have with yourself, your self-talk, that you have with yourself. And you just taught that from a metadata perspective, and that made it super special and very powerful. So I'll pass it to you.
Nini is, brother. Thank you for that. And that actually goes with what I'm going to say now. If anyone is interested in supporting the teachings of Ma'at organization, specifically the brothers on the panel, Kem Ma'at, you just go to our website. You look for Leadership Member tab. It'll pull up our pictures. And when you click on Atef's picture, you can support him through his Cash App. You click on Menkhu's picture, you can support him through the Cash App. You click on Ani's picture, you support him through the Cash App. These are very, very important brothers that you are looking at right now. These are brothers that can save your children and their children. Make sure you support them outside of this show. Thank you. And yes, like I said, Menkhu, our thoughts aren't even us. It's you behind it. And listen, I have an article. I was going to make a video of this week. I might spoil it now. But I have a scientific article where, and I do this and it does work, where when I come out of shower, I immediately look in the mirror and I smile for about 10 seconds. That smile turns you into a giggling child, or eventually it should. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You look in the mirror and smile at yourself. It's just a great feeling, and it's actually backed by science. It's that people that smile at themselves in the mirror are more healthy than those that don't even do that, let alone frown. So it's just something to think about to everybody. Ma Karu says, Hotep Ahati having issues sending Hotep. When fixed it, I send it for teaching. First time looking through sunglasses of a watch it last week, seeing what happened to Casanova. Do you have Zelle? No, I can't get Zelle. They won't let me get Zelle, unfortunately. All I have is Cash App, Venmo, and I don't really like using this because they take your money, PayPal, but I have that too. Ani might have Zelle. Yes, he might. That's a good question. I would ask Ani that. Send him a message, or when he gets back, he can answer you. But he may have Zelle. But one of the brothers on the panel might have Zelle. I don't know. Menkhu, you have Zelle?
No, I don't think I do.
Okay. All right.
Peace, Hotep. Maharu, just message me on the website, TOM.org, or you can email me, leadership@teachingsofma'at.org, and we can facilitate that for sure. So just reach out to me.
Okay. I don't think anybody's joining. So you brothers ready to wrap this up?
You guys got any last words, any closing words? Ahati?
No, I'm good, brother.
What about you, Menkhu? Any closing words?
I'm good, brother.
What about you, Ani? No closing words, brother?
Yes. As always, I always love to give adoration to those who send in support, those who support us with a like and a share on your social platforms. So Tua to you. I always say Tua as well for giving your attention, which is very, very valuable, because without that, this never even happened. This doesn't exist without your attention. So Tua for that, for tuning into class. excuse me, and for internalizing the information, taking your notes, reading through it throughout the week, getting in your studies, all of that. So shout out to all of you who are doing what you're supposed to do, and making daily steps to achieve what it is that you want to see, to achieve the results that you want to have. Be sure to write down your goals that you want to attain for this coming up week before you lay down and rest. Write it down, read it, and read it as you rise. Repeat these affirmations that we provide for you all, and it will help to guide you through your day. So peace and love, Ahati Maat, and everyone have a wonderful weekend. Be sure to sign up for the MetaNetter Monday class. If you're not a part of that, you can reach out to us on the website and say, hey, I want to join the MetaNetter class. How do I do that? And we'll definitely get you in there. It's phenomenal. So support Saba Tehuti in the Medu class, and everyone have a fantastic week. Ahati Maat.
Ahati Maat. Peace and love, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another beautiful, wonderful, excellent class. Like, subscribe, and comment. teachingzemaat.org. We will end this wonderful class as we do every week with our beautiful affirmation. My brother Scribe will put up the affirmation. From today's teachings, most of the world's languages have 5 basic color terms. Others divide all colors by light and dark, while others categorize the colors blue into lighter and darker shades. The human eye can physically perceive millions of colors, but we don't all recognize these in the same way. Remember, the etymology of perceive means become aware of, to recognize. From plate 18 of the Papyrus of Ani, you glorify my spirit. You make the Osiris, my soul, divine. I worship you. Be content, O Lord of the Netter, for you are exalted in your firmament, and your rays over my breast are like the day. Unki and Ma'at, Un N-S, Nintet or Set and Ma'at, Men Hapapet and Ma'at, Her in Hu Per E Coop. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light.
My eyes, then I woke up back in my bed. I could see my room as clear as looking through a lens. See, I thought I was awake, so then I tried to move, but my body shocked me like I was plugged in a socket. I started panicking and scrambling within my mental. I thought I died and now my body, I'm forever locked in. I was screaming, help me, someone help me please, but there wasn't any sound making it through my teeth. I could see movement in motion, shadows gather around me. How could I close my eyes already closed? Eating alkaline at this time, fasting reads so shocking. I was stuck in a paralysis, Fred had me froze. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. I finally started waking up and coming back. I was in the opposite of states effect. That's relaxed, I grabbed my phone and started to do research. Knowledge of what happened, I was in a lack. Insidious, the movie came direct to mind. Every time I seen this, it was connected to what's not divine. Demons crawling forcefully, holding the body down. Ain't no point in trying to scream, you will not make a sound. Deep within I knew I made that a reality. The all is mine, I saw it, and so shall it be. I start replacing fear with knowing universe is mental. Talking to my subconscious to wake me up in dreams. Then one day my spirit guides came in so essential. Daylight's astral playing loud in my dream helped to set me free. I'm back in paralysis laying on my couch. But this time I was calm, ready to exit out. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. From what I read, I need to move my arms in front of me. See a rope and pull it, separate and then release. Now I'm out, I see my house is gleaming, I accept it. Looking in the mirror, staring at my car's reflection. I was so ecstatic, flying in every direction. This was months of subconscious reprogramming and redirection. Place my thoughts in my body, wake up, that's what I did. I was reborn from that day so I could start to live. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed.
But I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.